Sports Radio HLM presents Berwick Bulldogs football. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickashattuck. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price, hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Axis Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. Now with Andy Ulickney, here's the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle, on Sports Radio HLM.
Tonight was to be the home opener for the Berwick High School football team, but the Bulldogs game against Wyoming Valley West has been canceled because of positive COVID-19 tests in the Berwick School District. Instead, Sports Radio HLM brings you a rebroadcast of a classic from 1998, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio HLM.
That's it. Too late tomorrow, Don. I told you. Hey, your fresh clippings, you can stick them anywhere. You just got to go out and tag people. Put a stick on somebody tonight. Everybody. I wish the hell I was in this game. You guys got a tremendous opportunity. Tremendous opportunity, man. Take advantage of it. Everyone, guys. Take advantage of it.
And now, follow the Bulldogs with WHLM Sports Director Jim Doyle.
Good morning, everyone. Today from Crispin Field in Berwick, the Bulldogs about to take on the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius High School. I am Jim Doyle along with Andy Ulickney and our spotter, Brett Travelpiece. The producer for today's broadcast is Fred Gaffney. Those people proud to be on hand for Berwick High School football today. Last year, the Berwick game with Cleveland St. Ignatius was the most hyped, the most publicized, the most anticipated regular season game probably in the history of Berwick High School football. And why not? Going into that game last season, these two programs had combined for 12 different state championships, 5 mythical USA Today national championships. So it was intriguing how it would come out when these two teams met head-to-head on the football field. The result was a convincing win for Cleveland St. Ignatius, 37-6, as they rolled out to an early 14-0 lead and never looked back. Perhaps because of the margin of their victory and the word that Cleveland St. Ignatius is every bit as good, if not better, this year, the hype, the publicity, the pregame anticipation has not been quite as much, but it's still an intriguing matchup. Last year, after Ignatius left Crispin Field, they wanted to have a great season. Ended up losing in the state semifinals to Canton McKinley, the only team that beat them also during the regular season. And both of those games to Canton McKinley, the team that ended up number 1 in the country in the USA Today poll, were very, very close last-second jobs that could have gone either way. Berwick, for their part, had one more disappointment after the Ignatius game. That was that 3-0 loss to Wyoming Valley West. The Bulldogs regrouped and won an unprecedented 4th consecutive state championship. Both of these teams did well to open this season. Last week, Berwick with no problem over Anacostia from Washington, D.C., 54-0, and Cleveland St. Ignatius rolling over Akron Booktel, 42-13. So, for the second time and the last time, Berwick goes against Cleveland St. Ignatius before a big crowd here at Crispin Field. With us from Berwick High School football, Andy Ulickney. Andy, I'm sure you'll agree, 99% of the time when someone talks to us about an upcoming Berwick game, they talk in terms of, does the opposition have a chance? This is really strange to hear people talking the opposite way, talking in terms of, does Berwick have a chance?
Berwick does have a chance, Jim, but you are right with the type of attitude you hear in the region, the reputation that Ignatius proved they deserved last year. People do wonder. I think Berwick does have a chance. I think Berwick's going to play with a different type of intensity, limit mistakes. I think they have a much better game plan, both offensively and defensively. I had a little look at that, and I like what I see. They recognize the mistakes, the weaknesses from the last encounter. It looks like they're going to try everything strategically to do that. I think there's going to be a different type of motivation. They're trying to, take a different approach to the intensity of this particular game. Do they have the amount of talent to compete with this team? Hard to say. This is a tremendously talented team that Ignatius brings in. Great skilled people, great depth, nice linemen, quickness. But they're going to give it their best shot, and I do think they have a chance to win. I think they're going to play a much better game than last year, and if you keep it close with a team like this, see what happens.
Intriguing matchup today. Andy will be by later with the keys to today's game. I want to remind you, you're listening to the pregame show brought to you by Harry's Texas Lunch at 142 West Front Street in Berwick, the home of the Texas hot dog. We'll be back and hear from St. Ignatius coach Chuck Kyle right after this.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
It is an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball, that is. But here at Crispin Field, it's going to be tough on the football players, as the temperature expected to get near 90 degrees this afternoon. Very, very hot right now as the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius warm up down below us to our left. There are a number of key veterans back from the St. Ignatius team that routed Berwick last season and eventually made it to the Ohio State semifinals. We asked Wildcats head coach Chuck Kyle if this year's St. Ignatius team can be as good or better than last year's.
Well, that's what we'll find out. I hope we're as good, and I think we are. Can it be better? Well, we have more veterans this year than we did last year. We ended up by the end of the season having 11 juniors getting starting experience. So that's helped us at the beginning of this year. So we certainly come into this year with people that have starting experience way more than we did last year. Now, can I sit here and say, oh yeah, Mike Kelly's going to have the type of game that Dave Rigoni had? I don't know if I can say that, but Michael's doing a lot of good things for us, and the line, we're not big. I mean, it's always, you wonder sometimes because, nowadays 6'2", 245 pounds, people don't consider very big, but we're a pretty quick team. I think the Berwick fans that come to see the game will see a very quick offensive line that can get off the ball pretty well and technically pretty experienced, because if you notice, our two guards and center are the guys that started all year last year, and that's nice to have that kind of experience in the middle. And to be honest, I don't know. I mean, we're setting very high goals, and could we be better than last year? Yes, but it's game by game, week by week, to build towards the end of the season, and that's what we shoot for, really.
Chuck, what are your specific concerns about this Berwick team this year?
Oh, first of all, Berwick's always going to be a very good team and very well coached, and offensively, they make you do a lot of work because they present so many different formations and different ways of attacking, and it's their size up front. We're not as big, so that's always a concern. They could control the football that way, so we're concerned there. And defensively, it's a very experienced group. They've been through this before, and they've gone to the state championship, so they're used to big games now, and so I think they'll walk in with a little better, more experienced attitude defensively, and we'll see how that goes. I think also, we beat them last year, and Berwick is a tremendous football program, one of great tradition, and and I know when you lose. When you have that kind of tradition, you come back with a little more pride and say, hey, that we're not going to accept that from last year. And so I know when we take the field Saturday, there's going to be some very determined young men across that field, And so, we're going for the second straight year. We have no home game out of this arrangement, so we're walking into the teeth here again. But I think a Berwick team is going to have a better idea of what we do and how we play. So this is going to be a great challenge for us.
That's Chuck Kyle in his 16th year as head coach of the Wildcats of St. Ignatius. He is really a St. Ignatius man, a graduate of the school, 1969. This school of some 1,350 boys, a college preparatory school, all-boys school, 4-year school in inner-city Cleveland. The students at St. Ignatius come from 150 different schools, 40 cities, 6 different counties, and boy, they have made a name for themselves in the football field. 7 state titles in Ohio's biggest division in the last 10 years. Last year, almost had another one, losing a close game in the semifinals to Camp McKinley. They come in with a 1-0 record into this ball game against Berwick today. We'll be back and hear from Bulldogs coach George Curry, get his take on today's game in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Mason's Monogram in Berwick is gearing up for the holiday season. With over 30 years experience, this family-owned and operated business has the perfect Christmas gift for anyone, whether you shop in person or buy online at masonsmonogramming.com. They have the latest selection of Bulldog items, masks, robes, blankets, winter gear, and apparel. Indestructible silicone cups, koozies, decals, brand new Berwick Christmas ornaments, and more. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
You haven't had the best until you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines. You've got to try them. Romeo's menu includes their popular wings, wraps, ice cream, and so much more. Romeo's Italian Submarines. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday, until 10 Friday and Saturday. Visit Romeo's Italian Submarines at 1306 Orange Street in Berwick, or visit their Facebook page to check out their delicious menu and their specials. They also offer delivery to the local Berwick area. Romeo's is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Great crowd gathering here at Crispin Field in Berwick on a bright, warm, sunshiny day. The Bulldogs of Berwick take on Cleveland St. Ignatius, a team that right now is ranked 4th in the nation by the USA Today. When St. Ignatius came to Crispin Field last season, the Wildcats were clearly the better team, as evidenced by their convincing 37-6 win over Berwick. What really disappointed Berwick coach George Curry was that his team did not play well at all.
There's no question, Jim. We didn't play well, and we got a real good looking last year. There's no doubt about it. But I think a game like that, it did give us a wake-up call and made us go on and become a better football team. You always get better when you play teams better, one reason or another. But I think what that game taught us is we had to make some position changes, and we had to go to our best people, and we tried to platoon. Some things didn't work out for us. But we were very disappointed in the way we played because, you know, Jim, we were 107-9 in the 90s, and of the 9 losses, 8 of them we could have won. That one we got our butts kicked, and that bothered me. It bothered all of us. So it was very disappointing because, you know, if we gave them a tough game and we played with a lot of intensity, you can say okay, but I think we were better than the score indicated. You know, I mean, I'm not saying we could have beat them last year, but we just didn't do anything on either side of the ball. We were like stunned. You know, it wasn't that type of performance. You know, those kind of things haunt you all year.
Is this the same kind of Ignatius team that you faced a year ago? Are they still strong in the places they were strong a year ago?
Oh, they're stronger. I think they're better. I mean, people in Ohio are saying this is one of the better Ignatius teams. It's one of the better St. Ignatius teams. Because basically they got their offensive line is returning. Most of those kids are back. They got Kelly, quarterback, who was the starter at one point in two-a-days until he got injured. And then Ragone took over, and they just never made the change. He's got Gonzalez back. He's got Boyagi back at receiver. He's got, they got some athletes. They're a veteran team. So he's better than he was in the past. So, but again, we think we're better. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting game. I just think if we have a good week, and you got to have a good, intelligent, smart game plan and execute it with a lot of intensity. I use 2 words, the 2 I's, intelligence and intensity. And we'll be in that football game.
George, specifically, what are some of the things that you'll need to do that you didn't do very well a year ago?
Run the ball. We got to be able to move the football. We didn't do that at all. You know, we talked about how disappointing our defense was, but, you know, Jim, in a game like this, you got to control the line of scrimmage. I always feel games are controlled and won in the trenches. And we couldn't move the football. We couldn't budge. And you got to be able to move the football. I don't care how, but you got to keep it out of their hands. If you go 3 and out, you let them get these long drives, which they did. You know, they pile up points. You know, your defense gets worn out, and that's basically what happened. We got worn out and beat up all in one afternoon. The offense probably ran fewer plays in that game than any game we played of all 15 games. A lot fewer. I don't think we ran 35 plays in that game. That's way below the average for a game. You figure the average is between 50 and 55 offensive plays a game. Okay, so we got to be able to control the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and get some first downs, and that builds up confidence and momentum, you know, that kind of thing. just not let our defense play the whole game.
That's George Curry, now in his 28th year as the head coach of the Bulldogs of Berwick. Last year's 37-6 loss to Cleveland St. Ignatius tied for the worst loss in the Curry era. His team lost a 38-7 decision to Shikellamy way back in 1976. Since that time, Bulldogs have been very successful. In fact, in the 1990s, Berwick has won 108 out of 117 games. Ignatius, going back a few years before, even better. This program has produced 128 wins in their last 137 games. So two tremendous programs meeting here on the turf of Crispin Field today. We'll be back and give you the starting lineup for the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg? We're taking deals the other guys won't.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Rinnai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Berwick High School Marching Band entertaining prior to the big matchup between the Bulldogs and the Wildcats of Cleveland St. Ignatius. Here is the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Offensively, the tight end, number 86, Mike Paris. He is a 6'5", 220-pound senior. Dan Mooney, number 73, is the starting left tackle. 6'5", 264 pounds, a junior. The left guard is number 75, Tony Smith. 6'2", 240 pounds, a senior. Adam Reaney, number 54, is the starting center. 6'3", 235, a senior. Jeff Petrulis is the right guard. 6'3", 250 pounds, a senior. Smith, Reaney, and Petrulis, left guard, center, and right guard, respectively, all started against Berwick a year ago. Jacob Bell, number 78, is the right tackle. He is 6'4", 250 pounds, a senior. John Bollison, number 5, is the starting wide receiver and a returner from a year ago. 6 foot, 176-pound senior. He hurt Berwick last year, and he's off to a good start this year with 8 catches for 160 yards in that opener. Mike Kelly is the quarterback. A very interesting story. Last year during the preseason, he was locked in a battle for the starting spot with Dave Rigoni. Eventually got injured. Rigoni took over, and you know the rest. He did a terrific job. So Kelly was the backup last year. He started off very, very well in the opener. 5 for 6 in passing, 102 yards and a touchdown before suffering a bruised sternum in that first quarter. He could have come back in the game, but didn't need to as they had a big lead. They brought in Tom Arth, a wide receiver. He took over at quarterback and did a great job, a couple of touchdown passes and ran for one. But Mike Kelly is very good. And when you're talking about very good Ignatius quarterbacks, we're talking about a school that has put together 9 all-state quarterbacks in the last 10 seasons. Kelly did play a little against Berwick last year, 1 of 2 completions for 18 yards. Another player that really hurt Berwick last year, Joe Gonzalez, number 11, the starting tailback. 6 foot, 194-pound senior. 17 carries against the Dogs last year for 76 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Also caught 3 passes for 15 yards. He is a very good player, good on offense, maybe even better as a corner on defense. The fullback, number 34, Dan Murphy. He's 5'11", 210 pounds, a junior. At another wide receiver spot, Tom Arth, who I mentioned filled in a quarterback last week. Good wide receiver. In fact, before he took over the quarterback controls in that game, he caught a 58-yard touchdown pass. He is 6'4", 211 pounds, a senior. We'll also see Chris Inesco, number 84, 6'2", 175 senior, and a veteran, Pat Biaggi, a senior, number 7, 5'11", 173 pounder. Those are the starters for Cleveland St. Ignatius. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for the Bulldogs of Berwick. The tight end, number 95, John Ohl. He is 6'1", 245, a senior. Jason Holloway, number 75, is a starting left tackle. 6'3", 275 pounds, a senior. Jeff Peters, number 77, who got hurt very early in this Ignatius game last year, is 6'2", 265 pounds, senior, starting at the left guard position. Ken Locker, number 54, is the starting center. 6'4", 225 pounds, a senior. Ryan Stout is the starting right guard, number 76, 6 foot, 250 pounds, a junior. The right tackle is Jake Titus, number 74. Titus, 6'1", 270 pounds, a senior. At one split end, number 25, Chris Banyas, 5'10", 170 pounds, a senior. All-state selection from a year ago. Caught a couple of passes in the opener for 11 yards. Those passes came from number 7, Jeff Marshman, 6'1", 200-pounder, a senior, starting for the first time, just like Mike Kelly is a senior, starting for the first time for Cleveland St. Ignatius. Berwick was disappointed in that the game was so one-sided in their opener, and they scored on things like punt returns and interception returns, that they really didn't give Jeff Marshman as much work as they would have liked. He did complete 6 of 9 passes for 45 yards and rushed 4 times for 8 yards and a touchdown. The tailback for the Bulldogs, we'll see a number of people. The strongest runner of the group is Paul Irvin. He wears number 40. He's 5'10", 195 pounds, a senior. Also see some action out of Dana Keck, number 31, a 5'10", 170-pound junior. And a couple of talented sophomores, John Leckleitner and Benny Colbert. When Berwick does use a fullback, it'll be either number 99, Jeff Willis, 220-pound senior, or Jim Henry, number 89, a 225-pound senior. Irvin also has played fullback in the past and could go to that position again. At the other wide-out position, we'll see Vaughn Welsh, number 26, perhaps the fastest player on the team, 5'10", 170-pounder. Also see Mike Connor, number 80, a 6'2", 175-pound junior. That's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs of Berwick under George Curry in his 28th year. They come in with that victory over Anacostia last week, 54-0. Berwick against Ignatius, back with the keys to the game in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Berwick Bulldog football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WPWX Berwick, HLM.
Jim Doyle, Andy Lichty, and our spotter Brett Travelfeast from Crispin Field in Berwick. Prior to high school football action, Bulldogs of Berwick against Cleveland St. Ignatius. Great crowd on hand, standing room only at the time, as these two teams meet for only the second time. And this is the last game of the series, just a 2-year contract. Last year, Cleveland St. Ignatius winning handily by a score of 37-6. As we mentioned, tying for the worst defeat ever suffered by a George Curry coach team. George's coaching career here at Berwick goes back to 1971. 1976, they lost to Shikellamy 38-7. That was their worst loss. It was tied by that defeat to Cleveland St. Ignatius. A year ago, they got into an early hole. It was 14-0 very early in the ball game, and they never really did recover. So we figure the start of this ball game could be very, very important. National anthem coming up. Teams about to come on to the field. We'll be back with the keys and the kickoff in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog football, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
You haven't had the best until you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines. You've got to try them. Romeo's menu includes their popular wings, wraps, ice cream, and so much more. Romeo's Italian Submarines. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday, until 10 Friday and Saturday. Visit Romeo's Italian Submarines at 1306 Orange Street in Berwick, or visit their Facebook page to check out their delicious menu and their specials. They also offer delivery to the local Berwick area. Romeo's is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team. Go Dogs!
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapac about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Berwick Bulldog football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WPWX Berwick, HLM.
Big crowd settling in here at Crispin Field for this matchup between the 4th-ranked team in the nation by the USA Today, Cleveland St. Ignatius, and the Bulldogs of Berwick, as Berwick makes their way onto the near side of the field. Bulldogs wearing their blue jerseys with the white numerals, white helmets, silver pants, and trim. And across the way, the Wildcats from Cleveland St. Ignatius wearing their white jerseys with the blue numerals, gold helmets, gold pants, and trim. So a great setting for a high school football today as Berwick goes against St. Ignatius from Cleveland. The keys to today's ball game, Andy Lichty.
Well, look at 2 keys, Jim. Each offense has a specific area they need to make go, and the opposition defense has to stop it. Berwick has to run the ball. They have to be able to physically dominate in the trenches, control the line of scrimmage, and get something out of their running game. If they can't do that, the passing game won't go, and they'll have no offense at all. They were very disappointed in their performance last year, especially in the running game. They couldn't generate any rushing offense, and that just takes away the entire offense. Against superior talent like Ignatius often poses, there's a lot of things you have to do, but Berwick does have greater size. They have to come off the ball very well. One thing they might do is read at the line of scrimmage and audible that running game. Take a look, see which way things are slanting, where people are gapped, and call for the open hole. That's part of the game plan. They're going to change their cadence to try to keep St. Ignatius back on their heels a little bit, maybe induce some off sizes, get them where they're not having any additional advantage just knowing that snap count and coming right off the ball. And, of course, in that running game, they cannot fumble. Last year, critical fumbles took them out of the game early, and they're playing catch-up, which isn't the type of game you want to have against a nationally ranked team. Ignatius has to stop that running game, and they have the talent to do it. They have the schemes to do it. They run a professional defense look. They run a 4-3 with a true middle linebacker, and that middle linebacker is a man among boys out here. Larry Vanderoord is 6'2", 223, played in this game last year, and he's a big-timer. So he sort of roams in the middle. He's going to be in on every running play from sideline to sideline, and he'll pose some challenges for Berwick. They're going to have to cut him off and keep him away from the plays. But the challenge has been posed to the Berwick linemen to do just that and make this running game go. St. Ignatius, for their offense to be successful, they rely on the short control passing game. It killed Berwick last year, and then from that, other things go. The running game, the draw game, and then the deep vertical passing. But this team likes to go with the backs on flares. They like to throw the quick outs to tight end dumps. They like to hit the hot receivers, spread the field, and then hit that man in open field and let him run. Berwick realizes they need to stop that. Defensively, they're going to try to disguise their coverages a little better, try to mix people up. They have to mix defensive schemes, sometimes come with pressure, sometimes stay with coverage to try to keep St. Ignatius guessing. They want to distract the quarterback on the short passes, make sure there's pressure on him. Maybe they're not getting the sack, but force that short pass to be thrown much quicker rather than letting the defense spread deep in coverage, keep things where there's going to be a man right on him. So they got to take away the short pass. St. Ignatius has to take away Berwick's running game. I think whoever does that better, either way, that's going to key to the victory in this one.
Cleveland St. Ignatius won the toss, deferred to the second half. They will kick off. Berwick will get the football, moving from our left to our right. Ace Brogna is the referee for today's game. The umpire is Frank Galicki. The head linesman is Cal Bardo. The line judge is Gene Coleman. Ron Amos is the back judge, and the field judge is Chuck Supon. Now, an interesting story to start. Mike Kessick, a sophomore, will kick off. Their normal kicker, Matt Fordyce, is the captain of the soccer team. That soccer team is a big game today as well. He is not with them. We'll see what Kessick can do with the wind at his back. And there is a pretty good breeze here as this ball game underway. Kessick's kick is very, very high. Dana Keck will field it at his own 8-yard line. Up the middle to the 15, hit there and crushed at the 16-yard line. They get down there in a hurry. Mike Karsten, number 14, leading the way for St. Ignatius. So Berwick will take over in not the best field position. 1st and 10 at their own 16.
And you can expect that through the game. The specialty teams of Ignatius are outstanding. They have great specialists. Their number one kicker's not here, and yet the ball's still going to be kicked deep. The 10 people in coverage are practicing solely for that assignment. They're going to be outstanding in specialty team play, and that often dictates field position.
First play from scrimmage, the ball game. Backs in an open set. Keck goes in motion left. Irvin gets the call. Paul Irvin splits through the defense and gets out near the 25-yard line. Curtis Bowman and Chris Strawn are the defensive ends for Cleveland St. Ignatius. Bill Smith and Steve Zavara are the tackles. Tom Costello, Bill Klima, outside linebackers. The middle is manned by Larry Vanderoord. Pat Boyagi and Joe Gonzalez, the corners. The strong safety, Eric Hackman. The free safety, Ryan Lally, filling in for Chuck Chandler, who is injured. Second down, 6, Berwick at their own 20-yard line. No running backs behind Jeff Marshman, who takes the snap, goes off the left side, powers near the first down yardage. Out near the 25-yard line, Phil Klima, from his linebacker position, makes the play. And exactly what you said Berwick would have to do to dominate on the line of scrimmage, get some rushing yardage. They've done early.
Yeah, and they've done a very nice opening play. Although it seems stuffed at first, Irvin forces his way through and almost breaks open before getting tripped up. And then on the second play, no one at all in the backfield, but you can sense that Marshman's going to run. Ignatius didn't read it quickly enough. 3rd and short coming up here.
1 yard to go for a first down for Berwick. Irvin is the lone running back. He gets the call and has the first down. Paul Irvin over the 25 to the 27. Larry Vanderoord comes in from his middle linebacker position to make the stop. And Berwick crowd already on their feet. Last year in this game, there was absolutely nothing to get excited about, particularly at the start of the game. Berwick here on the ground picks up a first down at the 27.
Last year's second play from scrimmage was a fumble way back inside their own red zone that led to a quick score, being the second TD for Ignatius. Here, opening drive, first down on 3 plays.
Trips to the right side. No running backs behind Marshman. He keeps the ball himself, tries the right side, gets up to about the 29. Curtis Bowman from his defensive end position, 239-pound senior at 6'5", makes the stop. So just a yard or two for Marshman. We'll give him 2 to the 29. Second down and 8 Berwick.
Tremendous quickness by Bowman. There was a seam in the C gap. Marshman's reading at the line of scrimmage. Where will the gap be? He's sort of audibling to the lineman where to block it. They left Bowman, who was very wide, untouched. He's able to slide down and trip him up, or Marshman would have had plenty of yardage.
Now it's 2nd and 8. Marshman will operate from shotgun with trips to the near side of the field. He takes the snap. He's back to throw. He steps up into it. He's going to keep the football, and he's going to be brought down for a loss on the play. Not able to get it away. Curtis Strawn from a defensive end position, 6 foot, 225-pound senior, makes the play. Marshman lost about a yard to the 28-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 9 Berwick.
Hard to say if he was going with the quarterback draw there. They want to go with the running looks. They have the shotgun, but I think they want to surprise and get Ignatius thinking run, run, run. There were 3 receivers going out, but they weren't sharp, crisp patterns. Berwick realized in their passing game they need sharper, crisper patterns to break free from this very tight coverage they'll be seeing.
J.D. Stanley is in at a tight end position for Berwick, 3rd and 9. Marshman from shotgun takes the snap, back to throw. Huge pass rush. He'll be sacked back at the 10-yard line. Curtis Bowman comes in and makes the play, and that is huge because not only will Berwick have to give it away, but they'll have to give away good field position early.
Punting into the wind as well. They let that rush come, Jim. That's why it got in so easily. People may not realize that they were trying to set up a center screen. But Tom Costello, the outside linebacker, saw it, locked on his man, and Marshman could not throw it without risking a devastating interception. Instead, he eats that.
Now the pressure is on Travis Brown, the sophomore punter, standing back at his own goal line. The snap is a good one. Brown's kick shanks off the side of his foot. Bounces at the 30, goes out of bounds around the Berwick 32-yard line. So St. Ignatius gets a break early. They will be in great field position for their first possession of the game.
Specialty teams is 1/3 of the game. Offense, defense, and specialty teams. Deep kick with the wind and fine coverage pins Berwick in, even though they meet with some offensive success. And now the punt that shanks sets Ignatius up. A tremendously potent offense, and you're giving them the ball on the wrong side of the 50.
Mike Kelly sets his team down. Gonzalez and Murphy backs it off, set behind him from the Berwick 32-yard line. Kelly under center. Takes the snap, drops back to throw, fires the quick out, has Vollison. Vollison brought down quickly at the 25-yard line. Corey Getz makes the stop from his cornerback position. Getz and John Spencer at the corners. Chris Banyas and Vaughn Welsh at the safeties for Berwick. Jason Koch and Brandon George are the linebackers. J.D. Stanley and Ken Lockhart at the ends. John Ohl and Larry Hook at the tackles. And Kelly Davenport is the nose guard. Pickup of 7. 2nd and 3 from the Berwick 25-yard line. Vollison again wide to the left side. Kelly takes the snap. Toss sweep right side. Gonzalez has running room. Inside the 20. Inside the 15. Turns the corner at the 10. Lowers the shoulder inside the 5-yard line. Chris Banyas makes a saving tackle. But give credit to the right side of that Ignatius line. A huge hole for the speedy Joe Gonzalez, and it's down to the 4-yard line.
J.D. Stanley's playing that side, but he's double-teamed, and he's run out of the play. He cannot keep that C-gap tight, and everything on the inside is sealed off. Huge hole. There's about a 5 or 6 yard width for him to run through, and he's speedy.
21 yards on the carry. Now power backfield, 3 running backs for Ignatius from the Berwick 4-yard line. Toss sweep left side, Gonzalez. Gonzalez into the end zone for a St. Ignatius touchdown. Joe Gonzalez in from the 4, and the Wildcats with the early lead.
Basically the same play to the other side. This time the other defensive end is being challenged, Ken Lockhart, and they get the block on him. They push things out wide, double teaming on the kick out, and they get the seam on the inside. So an opening pass for 7 yards, and then 2 running plays to Gonzalez, who had 938 yards last season for Ignatius, and he gets the first score of the game.
Now Mike Kessick, the sophomore, has been pressed into duty because their Other kicker, Matt Fordyce, is with the soccer team today. Will try it. Kessig's kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 7:15 to go in the first quarter of play with the score. Cleveland St. Ignatius 7 and Berwick nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Kickoff time. Mike Kessick will kick off. St. Ignatius with the early lead, 7-0. 7:15 to go in this first quarter. Two huge plays. The sack of quarterback Jeff Marshman, and then the short punt setting up the Ignatius touchdown. Now Kessick will kick off, and it's high and deep. It's fielded at the 3-yard line by Leckleitner, and he is hit and dropped at the 16-yard line. Boy, the special teams of St. Ignatius, so good. Mike Carson again down there to make the play. And Berwick will start once again from their own 16-yard line.
Mike Kessick, the kicker, gets the ball up in the air, and the breeze is very favorable in this direction. But then the 10 men in coverage, they can practice this unit separately throughout an entire practice. They can have a specialty team coach just take them and work on shedding blockers and getting down. But for a high school team to pin a team inside their 20 is a rarity.
Berwick with the football. First down call. Paul Irvin gets the call, tries the left side, gets out to about the 18. Tom Costello from his linebacker spot makes the play. 5'11", 198-pound junior. So, Andy, the same situation as a year ago. Ignatius with that early lead, but very, very important Berwick do something to get a little bit of life.
They do. In fact, they have to get themselves to believe. They don't want to get into the attitude of here we go again like last year. They know that there's tremendous talent on the Ignatius team, but they have to play their game. They have to get themselves pumped up and make something happen offensively.
Second down and 8 call. Pitch to Keck. He turns the court, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, 40. Midfield to the Ignatius 25. Great move there and gets down to the Ignatius 31-yard line. Berwick plays a little option right side. Marshman pitches to Keck for a huge gain.
What a tremendous call. George Curry's never run that one. From scouting Ignatius on film, and last year he saw a tendency. Defensive ends like to crash in hard, bring the quarterback out to run. When someone comes up to play him, pitch it. The other man was taking on Chris Banyas deep. He thought it was pass, never looked in the backfield. Keck already has 20 yards downfield, and the corner is still sprinting with Banyas, never turning to look back.
First and 10, Berwick at the Ignatius 31-yard line. Irvin gets the call off the right side, inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, maybe the 27. A 51-yard run by Dana Keck has put Berwick in Ignatius territory. Phil Klima on that last stop for the Wildcats. Second down and 6, Bulldogs at the 27.
More important than the yardage of that successful play is to get Berwick again to believe, to get this crowd back in the game. They're rejuvenated. They now have momentum. They believe they can do it. Right now it's a mental game, believing they can play with Ignatius.
Keck and Irvin are the backs in an open set. Marshman fakes handoff, rolls right, has running room inside the 20, breaks a tackle to the 15, hit hard, gets down to the 10-yard line. Jeff Marshman on the roll, keeps the football. First down, Berwick at the Ignatius 10. Mark Sylvester makes the stop.
And now the blocking's better after the success. Outside, Brandon George at side end fronts his man and moves him, keeps him away. Marshman cuts inside that. That's some tough running downfield. He's a physical runner for a quarterback.
17 yards on the carry. First and goal, Berwick at the Ignatius 10. Irvin is the lone running back. He gets the call. Up the gut, not much doing. Maybe a yard to the 9. Larry Vanderoor, that middle linebacker, making the play. Second and goal, Berwick, trailing 7-0. 5:19 to go in this first quarter.
Going to get tougher to run here inside the 20. They have great people on the outside. They'll lock on man here where the receivers don't have that much room to run sharp patterns. And there are going to be more people focusing into the quarterback and looking for a run into the backfield. Vanderoord in the middle is tough. He'll go either side. Inside the tackles, it's tough because of his presence as middle linebacker.
Keck and Irvin backs in an open set. Second and goal call. Play action. Rolling left as Marshman keeps the football, and he's really hit hard. Down around the 8 or 7 yard line. Really stood up. Phil Smith and Joe Gonzalez did a double team on Marshman on the keeper. They'll mark it down around the 8 in his third down and goal.
And trying to physically intimidate him. Most teams are afraid to run the quarterback. They don't want to see him get hurt. And defenses are told if that quarterback runs, you hit him twice as hard as you'd hit anybody else and not make him want to run because of the danger of the running quarterback. But Marshman will not be intimidated.
Trips to the right side. Marshman from shotgun. Third and goal at the 8. Now Banyas goes in motion, so 4 receivers to that side. Marshman fires the pass over the head of Banyas at the 5 yard line. Covered well there by Joe Gonzalez. So even if the pass had not sailed, it looked like Ignatius was in good shape to make the play.
They were in the area. He's throwing into that wind a little bit. Marshman hadn't thrown a pass. Here we are with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and that's the first pass that Berwick has thrown, and it's a touch pass, which may be harder. Timeout for Berwick, decision time on 4th down.
4:10 to go first quarter, 7-0. Cleveland St. Ignatius will be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Jim Doyle, Andy Lichty, our spotter Brett travel piece from Crispin Field in Berwick. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Cleveland St. Ignatius leading Berwick 7-0. But Berwick with a huge call coming following their timeout. They have a 4th down and goal. They have it at the Ignatius 8-yard line. This drive started at their own 16. The big play, the 51-yard run by Dana Keck.
I don't think they're thinking field goal here, Jim, so they have to have some play. George Curry already pulled one out of the back of the playbook that went for that 51 yards by Keck. They're going with this from a play from scrimmage.
Let's see how it goes from the 8. Marshman from shotgun trips to the right side, and Banyas again in motion to that side. Marshman has the snap. 4th down call coming. Dumps the pass off to Brandon George. Has it at the 10, down to the 5. Lowers the shoulders in for touchdown. Brandon George into the end zone. Powers his way through. 4 receivers to this side. They go to the other side to George.
Great design to the play. Back of the playbook type of stuff. George, the tight end on the left. With him is Banyas on that side, who then comes in motion toward trips.
And the kick is good. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Mason's Monogram in Berwick is gearing up for the holiday season. With over 30 years experience, this family-owned and operated business has the perfect Christmas gift for anyone, whether you shop in person or buy online at masonsmonogramming.com. They have the latest selection of Bulldog items, masks, robes, blankets, winter gear, and apparel. Indestructible silicone cups, koozies, decals, brand new Berwick Christmas ornaments, and more. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Bulldogs of Berwick have just put together an 8-play, 84-yard scoring drive. The touchdown, a pass from Jeff Marshman, the tight end Brandon George, Chris Banyas with the extra point. We are tied at 7. Ken Locker will kick off for the Bulldogs. Gonzalez and Biaggi are deep, but the kick will come up short. Larry Vanderord will field at the 25 and hit and drop at the 36-yard line. Berwick special teams led by Jason Cope getting down there to make the play. So Cleveland St. Ignatius will take over the football right at their 35-yard line with the score tied at 7.
One disquieting thing about this game from Berwick's perspective, though, is that St. Ignatius is not running their standard offense. 3 plays and 2 were run. Berwick is pretty much trying to stop the short passing game, and that's not what they've seen so far from Ignatius.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Gonzalez, the running back behind quarterback Mike Kelly. Fake to Gonzalez. Kelly back. Plenty of time. Looking long. Has a man. Great catch by Arth. Arth inside the Berwick 20. Down to about the 14-yard line. So Cleveland St. Ignatius comes right back. Vaughn Welsh makes the play. Corey gets shaken up on the play. We'll have an injury timeout. Whoa, what a backbreaker that is after Berwick puts together an 84-yard drive. Kelly goes long to Big Tom Arth, who was wide open, and they get all the way down to about the Berwick 13.
Getsu's hurt was backside away from the play. The other corner was beaten. Again, Berwick's thinking short pass. That's their focus. That's what they have to stop. But the quarterback has way too much time to throw, as Berwick is sort of cheating up to make sure they stop that short pass. Arth is able to get deep, and he's a superior athlete. Tremendous speed, great height. Catches it, happens, Stratton, to slow down just a little bit to make the sure reception. And then eventually Banyas from safety running over, trying to help out on coverage, is able to use his speed to prevent the touchdown. But that is a big play for Ignatius, the type of backbreaker, the momentum swing. Berwick had momentum back. They're going to need lots of momentum to overcome some of this talent disparity that they see in the course of this game. And now the momentum goes right back to Ignatius. One play, deep strike and they're right back down there in the red zone.
52 yards on the completion from Mike Kelly to Tom Arth. They combined on a 58-yard touchdown in their opening game against Akron Booktel last week. Corey Getz is up on his feet and jogging toward the sideline. Vaughn Welsh will replace him at a cornerback position as we resume play with Ignatius at the Berwick 13-yard line with a 1st and 10. Score tied at 7 with 3:47 to go in the first quarter of play.
And strategically a great situation for Ignatius. You just burned the team deep. Now that run can go. The offense can mix it either way.
Andre Maletti is in there at a running back and an offset with Joe Gonzalez from the 13-yard line. Gonzalez gets the call. Big hole off the right side, and he gets down to about the 6-yard line. With the right side of that Cleveland St. Ignatius line, really doing a terrific job. John Spencer made the stop for Berwick. Corey gets right back in for the Bulldogs. Derek Forsythe also entering at a linebacker position. Ball down around the 5, so 8 yards in the pickup, 2nd down and 2 Wildcats.
Berwick's defensive ends are normally a strength of the team, but they're getting kicked out and they're giving up ground way too much for Berwick's needs. Also, the inside's getting sealed and pushed in, so they're not just creating a seam a back can get through. They're getting this huge seam that 5 backs can get through. And you put a superior talent like Joe Gonzalez, a Division I recruit, in there with this flash, it's going to be just too much. Berwick has to tighten up, toughen up a defensive end, somehow neutralize that double team. Even if he has to go to a knee, he can't give up that much ground and open that hole. And the tackles and the linebackers who are being sealed on the inside have to fight across the face of that block. Berwick is the team that wants to dominate in the trenches. They have the physical side. They have the weight room strength. But right now, they're getting pushed around a little bit by the blockers that the Ignatius is throwing at them.
John Ohl is injured. That's the reason for the delay. The training staff looks to him. He's sitting up right now and on his feet, walking very, very gingerly, though, not putting a lot of weight on that left foot. Boy, that would be a huge loss for Berwick. Ohl, a real standout along the defensive line, as well as a good blocker from his tight end position.
He would be, and it doesn't look like he's putting much weight at all. A little bit more weight now, but now with the limp. We'll have to see how that does recoup on the sidelines, whether or not he will be able to return to action.
So Cleveland St. Ignatius with the football at the Berwick 5-yard line. 2nd down and 2. Jeff Peters has replaced Ohl on that defensive front. Full house backfield. Wishbone look by the Wildcats. Long count by Kelly. They give it to Gonzalez, hit behind the line, but breaks away and gets in for the touchdown. Joe Gonzalez with a terrific effort gets in, and Cleveland St. Ignatius regains the lead.
Strategically, they bounced it in one hole. It had the same look as hitting that C gap with the power, but a little trap into the B gap this time. Berwick might have over-pursued a little bit to the hole they have been hitting. He cuts back against the grain just enough, becomes elusive, and gets in for his 2nd score.
Gonzalez with touchdown runs of 4 and 5 yards. Now Mike Kessick will attempt the extra point, but a flag down before can happen. It's a substitution fraction against Berwick. And they had one too many people out there. Let's see if St. Ignatius changes the strategy, and they'll cross the way. Chuck Kyle indicates that they still want to stay with the kicking game.
Derek Forsythe, who had been injured and wasn't expected to see much action, had been in as a substitute, and then he just stayed in for this particular team. Probably shouldn't be in there.
The hold will be by Tom Arth. Mike Kessick made his first one. This one is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 3:02 to go in the first quarter of play with the score. Cleveland St. Ignatius 14 and Berwick 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google, or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WPWX Berwick, HLM.
Mike Kessick will kick off. Cleveland St. Ignatius leading it 14-7 now. And his kick is very, very high. Lex Leitner will field it back on his 2-yard line and slips and falls. And Berwick will take over deep in their own territory.
Normally you'll field a kick in the air wherever it is, so long as it's not in the air into the end zone. He took it on the 2, and I'm thinking the way the coverage has been and how high these kicks are with their hang time, it might be better to let it bounce and go into the end zone, take the ball on the 20. But he chose to catch it, which is the standard procedure, and as he goes to motor forward, the foot slips out. He downs himself on the 2. And again, specialty team play, strongly tilting in favor of St. Ignatius. A team that doesn't need extra advantages is getting them.
Berwick at their own 3-yard line in a deep, deep hole. Keck goes in motion to the left side. Irvin gets the call, and Paul Irvin gets a little bit of room. Off the left side out to about the 6. Larry Vanderoord makes the stop for the Wildcats. Boy, it's very, very important that Berwick get out of this hole. This game could turn around on that particular play.
Their own punting so far in this game has been disappointing, so you don't want to punt from your own end zone. If you have to punt from deep in here, Ignatius would have tremendous field position. You'd be kicking into the wind still. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this quarter. That was a good opening play for Berwick. They have to anticipate it coming between the tackles. Ignatius stacked against the run, and still they get a good 4-yard burst.
Second down and 7. Marshman, play action, back to throw, fires to Banyas behind Banyas and out of bounds. So now a 3rd down and 7. The other thing, Eddie, that's so difficult from trying to run plays from deep in your own territory is that you send players in. It's a long way to get there.
It takes you a while, and that 25-second clock is going right now with the ready-to-play signal. So as we see Banyas and 2 or 3 others coming into the offense, they got to get that play called, and you get a little bit winded even in and off the field from that distance. Plus the quarterback, with the pressure he's going to be facing in a passing situation, will be in his own end zone. There's a threat of the safety.
3rd down and 7. Berwick at their own 6-yard line. Backs at an open set. Marshman gives the ball to Irvin, and he is brought down hard for a loss in the play. Phil Smith was right there. He was almost there before Irvin had the ball. It'll be a lost punting situation, and boy, Ignatius figures they get terrific field position, leading 14-7.
Berwick would like to see an impact play here. They want the Headhunters to get down there and do a tremendous job and try to stop any type of return. That was a great defensive play, though, by Phil Smith. They're very, very quick on the defensive front. Plus, Smith has size at 246 pounds.
Travis Brown, 9 yards deep in his own end zone. Brandon George does the long snapping. It's there. Brown gets the kick away. Boyaji will field it at the 34-yard line of Berwick, up the middle to the 30. Great coverage downfield led by J.D. Stanley. They bring him down about the 27-yard line. Ken Lockhart there as well. But Cleveland St. Ignatius already leading at 14-7, in great position to add to that lead as they take over the football at the Berwick 28.
Again, their offensive game plan not matching Berwick's expectations. It's not what hurt them last year. It's different plays. Berwick's trying to stop short passing. There's only been 1 short out. Otherwise, it's been a deep pass and the running game, which has hurt Berwick. So Berwick is focused in different areas. And Berwick now with another disadvantage. It looks like Tom Lockhart is being helped off the field.
Ken Lockhart is a two-way player for the Bulldogs, both a center and defensive end. This would be a terrific loss to go with John Ohl, who's already out of the ballgame.
He looks groggy. They're holding him up. I don't know if it's a shoulder injury or just got his bell rung. But Lockhart is a key. Been very strong, a great defensive end in the opening game. And now he's going to get a good rest on the bench. Let's see what's wrong with him.
So two key defensive players injured for Berwick. It's going to be tough as Ignatius from the Bulldog 28-yard line. Back to throw is Kelly. Has all the time he wants. Fires incomplete to Paris. And then Paris is really leveled by John Spencer.
Oh, did he ever. He's running that crossing pattern. And he should have probably caught the ball, but he just got his own hands crossed up. Time to throw. That's the short, controlled passing game Ignatius likes. That's their bread and butter. But Spencer is sort of sitting opposite the play, saw this man crossing, and after he missed, he timed it where it would have been a legitimate hit if the catch was made, and he leveled him. Crowd pleaser.
Spencer's given up 35 pounds for that deal, but you wouldn't know it there. Gonzalez, the lone running back. 2nd and 10. Ignatius from the Berwick 28. Back to throw, Kelly. Here comes the first pass rush of the ballgame. He's forced to scramble to the outside, and he's hit and dropped in the open field. Again, John Spencer with the play, and a terrific tackle in the open field. The report on Kelly is that he's an excellent runner. Took off to the right side. Looked like he had a lot of room. Spencer comes up and makes the play. They'll only get about 2 yards out of it. It'll bring up a 3rd down and the long 7 from the 26 of Berwick.
He was pressured by the defensive ends who got strong pass rush and had to contain, but he stepped up and then took it wide. Nice scrambling.
Now Kelly from shotgun with a slot to the right side. Long count. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Fires long, and the ball tipped and nearly intercepted, incomplete. Corey Getz played it beautifully. Got in front of Pat Boyagi. Got his hands on it, just couldn't bring it down. Now it's a 4th and 7 for Ignatius at the Berwick 26.
He really wishes he had that, though, because what do you do as Ignatius on 4th down? They have the wind advantage for field goal attempt, but their feature kicker is not here. Probably a play from scrimmage, and with Ignatius, any singular passing play can convert this 8 yards that they need. This is a dangerous down.
4th down call. Ignatius is going for it. Big play, ladder moment of the first quarter. Slot to the right side. They need 7 for a first down. Kelly on a long count takes the snap. Back to throw. Fires to the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Vollison. Good pass rush by Brandon George. Berwick gets the defensive stand they really needed, and the Berwick crowd on their feet.
And having the crowd in the game will help pump this team up. There's the tendency with momentum switches to get down on yourself after some failure. But that was a great defensive stand. That time Berwick's defense dictated the tempo of that series. Pressure on the passer causes some troubles. A great hit. John Spencer with 2 crushing hits. One on an end crossing the middle, the other taking the feet out from the quarterback. You get some impact plays, you get momentum back.
Berwick 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. 27 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Marshman takes the snap, keeps the ball himself off the right side, gets maybe a yard on the play. Curtis Bowman makes the stop from his defensive end position for the Wildcats.
I think the scouting reports must have shown Bowman coming upfield when he's unblocked, and he's not coming upfield now. He's making game-time adjustments as we approach the end of the quarter. He's seeing things, and instead of coming upfield where a quarterback could run by him unblocked, he's now slanting on down and being very careful of Marshman's ability to run and his desire to run with the football.
2nd down and 9. I'm not sure of the holdup. I saw Bowman go off. Maybe he was shaken up, and the officials directed him to the sideline.
They'll wait for the quarter to end now, Jim. It is winding down, and there it goes.
1 quarter in the books at Crispin Field in Berwick. Good quarter of football it was. Cleveland St. Ignatius 14, Berwick 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football. HLM.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WPWX Berwick, HLM.
Jim Doyle, Andy Lichty, and our spotter Brett travel piece from Crispin Field in Berwick. Ready to go with the second quarter of play. Berwick trailing Cleveland St. Ignatius 14-7. Right before the end of that quarter, Berwick made a good defensive stand. After a punt return, Cleveland St. Ignatius had a first down at the Berwick 28-yard line. 4 plays, netted only 2 yards. And now Berwick with the ball at their own 27-yard line, facing a second down and 9. Bulldogs moving from our right to our left here in the second quarter. And Ken Lockard, who was shaken up earlier, is in there at the center position. Marshman will operate from shotgun. Chris Banyas is wide to the left side. Now Irvin goes in motion to the right. Marshman takes the snap. He has some running room up the middle. 35, 40, 45, midfield to the Cleveland St. Ignatius 40-yard line. Jeff Marshman back to throw, so a huge opening up the middle. Took advantage. Mark Sylvester made the stop.
Ignatius likes the pressure. They saw the shotgun. They call the blitz. There's no linebackers. Plus, they're covering everyone else who's wide. Marshman was the only man in the backfield. So once he can step up past that pass rush, everyone else is in pass coverage. He has a great ability in open field, and he stretches it with fine speed.
33 yards on the carry. First and 10 Berwick at the Cleveland St. Ignatius 40-yard line. Play action. Marshman back to throw. Dumps out of the backfield of Brandon George. Juggling catch out the 30-yard line. Doug Easy makes the stop. Brandon George got his hands on it, juggled it momentarily, made the grab.
Last year, I think he had 3 catches. This year, this is 2 in this game and 1 in the last game for a touchdown. He's a go-to man. He has that nice height. All the other wide receivers get tremendous attention from people. Quarterback looks them off, and all of a sudden he goes with that delay. He sneaks out, and again, a momentum builder. Brandon George with 2 catches for Berwick. Both catches there and 4 attempts by the tight end, who is rarely employed.
And again, Bowman shaken up a little from his defensive end position for Cleveland St. Ignatius. Officials tell him to go to the sideline. Adam Marini is in for him. First and 10 Berwick at the Cleveland St. Ignatius 30-yard line. Marshman fakes handoff, keeps the football, rolls outside at the 25, the 20, and cuts out in the open field near the 15-yard line. Berwick getting lots of mileage out of the running quarterback. Ryan Lally makes the stop for the Wildcats.
Defensive end Bowman has to leave the field, so go at that position. He's getting a feel for Marshman's running. The replacement isn't. All of a sudden, a quick fake to the inside. Marshman rolls wide. Marshman, 6'1", 200 pounds, and possesses great speed. And as you key on everybody else, as you cover everything else, the quarterback often is open. He's a dangerous threat.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of St. Ignatius. The call goes to Irvin. He tries the left side, has a little bit of room, down to perhaps the 12-yard line.
Up the middle, run the quarterback, make things happen. This is going to open up that passing game if they can keep this running game at this type of tempo. So far, they haven't been able to hit the wide receivers because of the tough coverage in the secondary. But eventually, those people are going to have to start thinking of running game and try to help out on the scrambling quarterback and the power run.
2nd down and 8. You know, the other thing, Andy, that George Curry talked about last year's game, Berwick's defense was on the field too long. He says, we have to have the ball part of this game, and they have to this point.
I think offensively, they've had twice as many snaps as Ignatius. Of course, Ignatius has scored on short drives.
Berwick staff yelling for a timeout. The team doesn't see them, and Marshman will operate from shotgun. Takes the snap, back to throw, rolling left, stops, gets the pass away into the end zone, diving attempt incomplete. Paul Irvin very nearly came up with the ball deep in the end zone.
Didn't get the timeout, but the play executed very, very nicely and just inches away from a touchdown for Berwick. Here on 3rd and long, they'll have another opportunity. It is also 4th down territory. Berwick now has the wind advantage going from right to left in this quarter. Should help the quarterback, should help kickers. Berwick will take that timeout now.
9:49 to go first half, 14-7. Cleveland St. Ignatius will be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Go Bulldogs from Tri-County Lumber on South Poplar Street, just off Route 11 in Berwick. From the planning stages to the purchase, all the way through to the last nail being hammered, the staff at Tri-County Lumber in Berwick is at your service. Located just off Route 11 on South Poplar Street, Tri-County Lumber offers professional design for your kitchen and bath, cabinetry, and countertops. The products and service you are looking for are located just off Route 11 in Berwick on South Poplar Street at Tri-County Lumber.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon, certified financial planner, about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, a registered investment advisor.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg? We're taking deals the other guys won't.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
9 minutes and 49 seconds to go in what has been a very entertaining first half of play here at Crispin Field. Huge crowd on hand. Berwick taking on Cleveland St. Ignatius, a team ranked 4th in the nation by the USA Today, and a good ball game to this point, 14-7. Cleveland St. Ignatius leads it, and Berwick following their timeout with a big call. They have the ball at the Wildcats' 13-yard line, facing a 3rd down and 8.
George Curry always dangerous after a touchdown, after a timeout on this side of the 50. Plays in the back of the playbook have already been seen. Expect another here.
Marshman from shotgun. Jim Henry back there to help with blocking. Banyas in motion to the left side. Snap to Marshman. Fires long to Banyas. Banyas goes up, tries to make the catch. It does for a touchdown. Chris Banyas out-battles Fayaji in the corner of the end zone for the score.
I don't know of another high school receiver who makes that catch. Credit Marshman for really airing it out nicely, but Fayaji all over him. But Fayaji is playing him man-to-man, so his back is to the ball. Banyas comes from the right side behind the line of scrimmage and runs sort of a deep fade pattern down the other sideline. Fayaji has to run with him across the field and then try to stay with him. Marshman threads the needle to where Banyas can catch it. It's a great catch. Berwick wants a timeout. They might think of 2 here, Jim.
They are calling the timeout. may have been a personnel problem, not having the right people on the field. We're going to keep it right here. We'll allow Banyas a chance to get a little breather. He was really pumped up after that score. And they do get a lineman on late, so they were a man short. They didn't want to use that timeout because that's their last one of the first half. Very unusual for Berwick not to have timeouts remaining. Still 9:42 to go in this half, but every point is very, very important. So they were going to make sure they had their personnel to give them the best chance.
2 timeouts were followed by 2 touchdown calls, and this point is critical. He wants this timeout to get him the points. They were missing a lineman. Banyas is tired. Take the timeout. Get this game tied. Make sure you have your best possible ability to make this conversion.
His last kick just barely made it through there. There's the snap, the placement. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 9:42 to go in the first half of play. The score. Berwick 14, Cleveland St. Ignatius 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Late in that first quarter, Berwick came up with a big defensive stand, holding St. Ignatius at the Berwick 26-yard line. Bulldogs take over, put together a 7-play, 74-yard drive. We're tied at 14 as Lockard will kick off. Low bouncing kick and will roll along the sideline, then hit Boyagi and then went out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
There's a break.
Boyagi went over and was going to give it a good look and hope it went out of bounds, but it hit him and then went out of bounds.
We also have a flag near midfield, and this might be critical. Berwick has great field position if this can stand. But the yellow flag is down there. Most likely illegal use of hands or a kick. It looks like that position will stand. You know, you talked about ball control, Berwick needing it. It will stay down there. Berwick has run 24 offensive plays. St. Ignatius has only run 9. Now, Ignatius has converted for 2 touchdowns in short drives, but Berwick needs to keep it away from that offense. Only 9 offensive plays for Ignatius. Berwick has been successful with the ball control, keeping it offensively and driving.
Cleveland St. Ignatius with the football at their own 10-yard line. Score tied at 14.
Move it back to the 5, Jim. They took it half the distance to the goal. I did not see the indication. Must have been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah, because it is 1st and 15 from the 5. Gonzalez, the running back, as Kelly fakes to him, back to throw, fires over the middle, has his man. They get out of the hole in a big way. Mike Parris, the 6'5" tight end, makes the grab over the 20. Chris Banyas makes the stop. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Did a real nice job. They run sharp routes. He is a tall man. People crossing right before that pass, so they get the secondary leaning toward the passer receiver, and then the taller receiver Mike Paris makes the catch.
18 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 for the Cats at their own 23-yard line. And movement on the left side as Dan Mooney broke his stance. And at 6'5", 264, you're going to notice it. And it'll be a mark-off against St. Ignatius. A rare mistake on their part. And it will be 1st and 15 back of the 18.
They have to be a little bit shaken by the turn of events. Berwick, this crowd, the noise, bad play on specialty play where it bounces out, and then a penalty taking them half the distance for the goal. And they are shook a little bit. He jumps offside.
Kelly under center. Maletti and Gonzalez are the running backs. Gonzalez gets the call, tries the left side. He won't get to the line of scrimmage. Berwick's defense is pumped. Kelly Davenport, 6 foot, 230 pounds senior from that nose guard position, makes the play. Loss of a yard back to the 17.
Defensive ends hold their ground. They're not allowing that kick out. They're not giving the ground. And now people on the inside, like the nose guard, can play down the line and help him out if he keeps that tight. We've been seeing Joe Gonzalez is unstoppable so far in the C gap. There, Berwick shuts him down.
Arth is wide to the right side. He caught a long pass earlier. 2nd and 16 for the Cats from their own 17-yard line. Long count by Mike Kelly. Back to throw, looking for Arth. Fires the pass. The ball is tipped and it's picked off. Picked off by Vaughn Welsh. Welsh at the 5. He goes in for a touchdown. The ball was tipped. Welsh picks it off. Berwick has the lead.
There was double coverage cheated in that direction. Welsh, as a safety, is well off. The corner, I believe it was Corey Getz, had him man-to-man. The ball thrown high because it's a tall receiver. But it goes off his fingertips as the corner makes the hit. Welsh, lurking in the area, breaks toward the ball, has to readjust his route to catch the bouncing ball, but then regains momentum and takes it down the sideline for a score.
Now Chris Banyas to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Al West. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, the kick is good. Time out of the field, 8:02 to go in the first half. Berwick, 21. Cleveland St. Ignatius, 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
8 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the half. Berwick crowd on their feet. Bulldogs with their first lead. 21-14, Vaughn Welsh with the interception return. Ken Locker will kick off. Low line drive kick, hits one of the up end. Fumbles it, then picks it up. Maletti across the way is brought down by Corey Getz over the 35 at about the 38-yard line. Now we'll check the cool of Cleveland St. Ignatius. Berwick with the momentum on their side. Berwick with the lead. The Wildcats have the football in good field position at their own 38-yard line.
First two defensive series, St. Ignatius had their way, scored easy touchdowns. The last two defensive series, Berwick has dictated tempo and forced mistakes.
First and 10 for Cleveland St. Ignatius at their 38-yard line. High formation behind Kelly. Gonzalez gets the call, looks for some running room. It's not there. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Gonzalez was having his way early. But right now, that Berwick defense stiffening. Brandon George, J.D. Stanley, all around the football.
And the fans are highly involved in the game. The players can feed off of that. Early in this game, they may have doubted themselves, had their head down. Dana Keck gets the team back involved with a 51-yarder. And now the crowd is involved, cheering the Berwick defense on.
Second and 10. Wildcats at their own 39. Backs at an open set. Kelly back to throw. Fires to Arth. Has his man. First and 10. Over midfield at the Berwick 49-yard line. Vaughn Welsh and John Spencer combine on the stop.
Double coverage again, but he's a tall receiver, Tom Arth is 6'3". That's the play that went for the Berwick touchdown. It was thrown high again, has to catch it up over his head. He's being hit hard by two men, but this time he's able to hold on to it for the completion.
13 yards on the catch, first and 10 for the Wildcats at the Bulldogs 48-yard line. Solison wide to the right. Arth wide to the left. Backs in an open set. Kelly takes the snap. Straight drop back to throw. Pump fake. Looking. Now he keeps the football. Gets to about the 45-yard line of Berwick. Jeff Peters, Kelly Davenport combine on the stop.
They're aware of his ability to step up and then run with it. So Berwick is coming instead of with a five-man pressure, one off and sits back. That time Kelly Davenport just chicken fighting his man, but eyeing the quarterback, somewhat a shadow for him. When Kelly steps up because the coverage is too strong, Davenport's able to shake him and catch him near the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 7. St. Ignatius at the Berwick 45-yard line. Mike Kelly, the senior quarterback. Toss sweep left side, Joe Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets to about the 43. Nice tackle in the open field by John Spencer. Boy, Spencer is a hitter, and he can tackle.
He is. Cornerback is his listing, but here in this game, he's cheating up, playing almost like an outside linebacker, more of a true strong safety. Berwick's trying to go with 4 to 5 people underneath, take the short passing game away. That also helps with the running game. We try to hit this C-gap. Spencer is a hitter.
Third down and 4 for Ignatius at the Berwick 42. Kelly drops back to throw, looking. Now he's going to keep the football. Rolling right, fires over the middle. Has his man, the tight end. First and 10 inside the 28. Mike Kelly is one cool customer. Berwick got a good pass rush on him. Stepped away from it, rolled right, found that big tight end. Ken Lockhart and Vaughn Welsh combined on the stop.
J.D. Stanley originally had contained, but as the quarterback scrambles, a man catches him from the side, and that allows Kelly to buy time on the outside. Too much time, his receivers will break open and find the seams. That time he hits that tight end down the middle.
First and 10 for Cleveland St. Ignatius at the Berwick 28-yard line. Kelly will operate from shotgun. Slot to the left side. Long count. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Looking long. Has Arth open. No. Incomplete. Just beyond his reach. 3 yards deep in the end zone. I tell you, he's very tall, but he is speedy too.
He is fast. It looked like he might extend. Yet Corey gets beaten. Again, Berwick's concerned with the short outs. When they go with certain blitz packages, they want to take the underneath routes away. But Coach Kyle is aware of that, and he's adjusting his game plan. He goes with the vertical game. He has tremendous speed. He is deep. Kelly has all the time, but he's too strong with the throw. Should have underthrown that.
Second and 10 from the Berwick 28-yard line. 3 receivers to the left side, including that tight end. Follison wide right. George Curry screaming for his defense to cover that other side, but Kelly's going the other way to Follison. One-on-one against Welsh. It's knocked down, incomplete. Flagged out on the play.
They're going to call pass interference on the defender, I'm sure, but his back was to the play. When he saw Follison look for the ball, he turned to look. There is bumping. Defender almost intercepts it, but they're going to say that he prevented the offensive receiver, Follison, from getting to that ball physically. So while it looks like a good play, I too would have called that pass interference.
So the mark off against Berwick, and Cleveland St. Ignatius will get a first down. It's a big drive for them. Berwick had really taken over momentum on that interception return by Welsh, but now the Wildcats have driven to the Berwick 13-yard line with a 1st and 10.
And with the offense having all cylinders clicking, you have to watch against run with Gonzalez. You have to watch against the quarterback scrambling. You have to watch the receivers.
1st and 10 at the Berwick 13-yard line. Kelly back to throw. Looking, fires the Paris way over the head of his big tight end at the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 10 for Berwick, or rather for St. Ignatius at the Berwick 34-yard line.
Berwick saw that coming. They had a lot of people in the area, 2 or 3 different people. Corey Getz seeing it and stepping up to play that man near the line of scrimmage. Also the defensive end, J.D. Stanley, cheating out into that area. While they want to get it to him high, Stanley, too, is 6'3", and he can go high with that 6'5" tight end.
Jeff Peters has come out of the Berwick lineup, gets a breather. 2nd and 10, St. Ignatius at the Berwick 13. Again, 3 receivers to the left side. They're going to option left side, pitch the ball to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is tripped up, little or no gain. Brandon George making a terrific defensive play from his linebacker position. J.D. Stanley was there as well.
Berwick constantly plays against option. That's the play that Berwick was able to break, kept 51 yards for. Here, Kelly, who's a mobile quarterback, attacks down the line of scrimmage with the pitch man. Berwick takes on the blockers because it's load option coming at him, but still linebackers are there to make the short tackle.
The ball at the 12. 3rd down and 9 for St. Ignatius. Slot to the right side. Kelly rolls to that side. He's looking. He steps up. He's going to run. Got a little bit of room inside the 10. Still on his feet inside the 5-yard line. Boy, that's a terrific effort by Mike Kelly. Berwick came up, and he just kept getting by defenders. Looked like the Bulldogs had him corralled, but instead, he will get the 1st down at the 4. 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
The 1st down really hurts. Berwick, J.D. Stanley had to contain and then lost it, then grabbed but couldn't hold the jersey. Berwick had 3 other people potentially to make the stop before the chain. He breaks all those arm tackles.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Maletti, Gonzalez, and Murphy. Full house backfield. Pitch to Murphy. He wants to throw the ball. Instead, he's brought down back at the 10-yard line. It looked like what they were going to do is pitch the ball to Murphy, which they did, and he in turn was going to throw a pass to the quarterback, Mike Kelly. But Murphy was brought down before he could do that at the 11.
That is a big play. Trickery in a situation where I'd be going with power. You have Berwick's defense backing up. The drive has been successful, and you try to back it out of the back of the playbook. There was no one else downfield on any pass pattern, and Berwick is reading that. No other receivers out. Why honor pass, even though that look shows they picked the quarterback up on the outside. Nowhere to go with the ball.
Now from the 11 of Berwick, 2nd and goal. Kelly from shotgun. Takes the snap. Drops back. Has plenty of time. Nothing there. He's forced to keep the football, and he's brought down around the 7-yard line. Boy, terrific coverage downfield because Mike Kelly had plenty of time to look over the field. Nothing was there. Forced to keep it. Picks up 4 to the 7, 3rd down and goal.
Berwick has great defenders in man-to-man coverage, and here in the goal line, look, that's what you will see. There's not enough room for these outstanding receivers to maneuver. They can't stretch the field vertically because they run out of end zone.
3rd down and goal, St. Ignatius at the Berwick 7-yard line. Arth is wide to the right side. Kelly from shotgun takes the snap. Back to throw. Dumps it out to Gonzalez at the 10. Cuts it into the 5. Still on his feet. Drops down about the 3-yard line. Now a 4th down and goal for the Wildcats. Around the Berwick 3. Ken Locker makes that last stop.
Berwick had the chance to get him even sooner. They had it covered. A man had him fronted, but he eluded the first man. But great reaction to the ball.
St. Ignatius will talk it over with a timeout. 1:36 to go in the first half. Berwick 21. St. Ignatius 14. Will be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon, certified financial planner, about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, a registered investment advisor.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
1 minute and 36 seconds remains in the first half of play. It's been a terrific first half of football here at Crispin Field. Berwick 21, Cleveland St. Ignatius 14. But following this St. Ignatius timeout, the Wildcats with the ball at the Berwick 3-yard line with a 4th down and goal. Andy, you don't call timeout to talk about a field goal.
No, you don't, and I'd go for it as well here. I would want my team going in behind at halftime.
Kelly sets him down. Full house backfield behind him. Takes the snap. Keeps the football. What's the throw? He's going to be sacked. He'll be sacked back at the 11-yard line. J.D. Stanley wraps him up. Berwick has the answer. They take over.
There were no receivers out. He ran a fake, and then he bounced, and I don't know what happened, but there's no one out there. He had nowhere to throw, nowhere to run. Might have been a design bootleg where the quarterback would fake one way and try to take it the other way to the wide side of the field, but he was penned in. Then he has to give ground. It might look like pass at that point, and then he is brought down. Huge defensive play.
Berwick takes over at their own 11-yard line. 1:31 to go, and a flag flies before the play could get started. Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
Now, Bulldogs' goal right here is to run out 1:31 and not allow for any points. They want to try to just kill this clock without Ignatius getting the ball again. May be difficult to do. Ignatius did use the one timeout. They'll probably use their timeouts again, try to force Berwick to punt from in deep. Again, they have great specialty teams, and they might feel there's enough time to drive it into field goal range trying to work this clock.
Berwick could use a first down. They have it at their own 5-yard line. No running backs as Urban goes in motion, and Marshman will keep it straight ahead. Look for St. Ignatius to use those timeouts eventually, if not now, very soon. They will use one here. 1:21 to go in the half. Berwick by 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
1 minute, 21 seconds remaining in the first half of play here at Crispin Field in Berwick. Berwick leading Cleveland St. Ignatius by a score of 21-14. But St. Ignatius with one timeout left, and Berwick in a holdback at their 6-yard line, 2nd down and 14. Well, that was a terrific drive by the Wildcats moments ago, starting at their 39. They drove all the way to the Berwick 3, where they had a 4th and goal. Actually, they had a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, tried a little trickery that backfired, put them in that hole, then Berwick took over.
And that was after a bad turnover, Jim, that led to a Berwick score on the interception. They showed a lot of character on that drive, but Berwick came up tough at the end.
Bulldogs with it at their 6-yard line. Irvin is the lone running back. Marshman fakes to him, keeps the football, gets outside, and Jeff Marshman out to the 14-yard line, picks up 8, sets up a makeable 3rd down play. Now, their timeout called by Cleveland St. Ignatius, that's their last timeout. We'll keep it right here with 1:10 remaining in this half.
I think during the timeout, George Curry said, let's run the quarterback. Let's not risk the exchange. It's a play that has the potential to get some yardage and approach the chains. But he probably told Marshman, don't worry too much about the chains. Worry more about holding on to the ball. Had Marshman thrown that into high gear and ran a bit more aggressively, put his shoulder down and drove, instead of needing a good 7 yards or so here on 3rd down, they might have only needed 3 or 4, and that does make a difference. Berwick still would like to keep that clock going. I'd go with the running play trying to get this if the clock runs anyway, even if it's not made. Of course, the passing play gives you the chance to make it and then run it out easier. So it's not an automatic call. My system of thinking, I'd run this even if I come up short, let that clock wind down. George Curry, though, with a lot of confidence in passing, may think differently.
3rd down, Berwick. They need 6 for a 1st down. They have it at their own 14-yard line. 1:10 to go in the half. They lead by 7. St. Ignatius now out of timeouts. Marshman will operate from shotgun. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Takes the snap, quarterback draw, and he's brought down in his tracks. Actually will lose 2. Back to the 12-yard line. Now Berwick will probably use the maximum time to get this punt away, to wind it down, but they're going to have to give the ball to St. Ignatius in good field position. Remember, St. Ignatius, although they don't have their first-string kicker here, he's with the soccer team. We saw Mike Kessick, the sophomore, in warm-ups, and he's got a good foot.
He does. So field goal is a potential. Berwick wants to have a nice play here on this punt. They want to get people down. They got to watch they don't get a delay of game here. I don't think I'd want to give up this 5 yards, have the punter kicking from the end zone, but Berwick's going to wait it out. There's the flag.
Yep. They'll take the 5, sacrifice the time. It's 29.1 seconds to go.
There are advantages to that. I think what it is now the punter, who struggled a little bit during the game, doesn't have to worry about timing this, milking the clock, and then hurrying the punt in the last moment. The personnel are the personnel you want. You can have this snapper snap when he's ready. The punter get himself mentally set. They'll give up the 5 yards for that.
Travis Brown, 5 yards deep. They're coming hard. He gets the kick away. Koyaji in the far side.
Toward the sideline with enough depth that there's no return, and Ignatius has to move the ball to get into field goal range. That was a super job of punting.
First and 10 Wildcats at the Berwick 39. Berwick leading by 7. Slot to the right side. Kelly from shotgun takes the snap, back to throw, looking long for Vollison, and the ball's incomplete. Vollison had actually broken his route, started to come back, then had to go long for it. Corey Getz had the best chance for it in the Berwick secondary.
And actually, Vollison broke up Corey Getz, who had the chance for the interception, and there was contact there, and yet the officials do ignore it down on the sideline. Ball might have been where it was going out of bounds, but I thought Vollison made an aggressive play to stop the interception. I'd have called an interference.
13.3 seconds remaining in the first half. St. Ignatius at the Berwick 39. Trips to the right side. Kelly from shotgun takes the snap, flags, and whistles blow the play dead.
Umpire Frank Galicki threw it. He's behind the defense. He saw some sort of movement in the very interior, something that things weren't ready to go. 5 yards against St. Ignatius.
They'll take it back to the 44, bring up second down and 15. 10.3 seconds to go in this first half of play. It'd be tough for Ignatius to set up for a field goal now. Even if they got the completion, they almost have to go for all of it. Vollison wide left, trips to the right. Kelly from shotgun standing back near midfield, takes the snap, drops back into Ignatius territory, throws to the far sideline to Arth, makes the catch and gets out of bounds. 3.2 seconds to go on the clock. Nicely done. Mike Kelly to Tom Arth. Not only does he make the catch, but he gets out of bounds.
And that does stop the clock. It will not be reset until the snap. We won't see it move. But I don't see the field goal kicker coming in. I see Mike Kelly coming in for another play for scrimmage. I guess they don't have enough faith kicking into the wind from this distance.
And with the new kicker. So Kelly from shotgun. Here it is. 3.2 seconds to go in the half from the Berwick 20. Kelly takes the snap. Back to throw. Pump fake. Looking into the end zone for Arth. He makes no. He can't grab it. Can't grab it. That will end the first half. That ball on target looked just beyond the reach of Arth as the first half comes to an end with the score. Berwick 21, Cleveland St. Ignatius 14. We'll be back with the first half scoring in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
Go Bulldogs from Tri-County Lumber on South Poplar Street, just off Route 11 in Berwick. From the planning stages to the purchase, all the way through to the last nail being hammered, the staff at Tri-County Lumber in Berwick is at your service. Located just off Route 11 on South Poplar Street, Tri-County Lumber offers professional design for your kitchen and bath, cabinetry, and countertops. The products and service you are looking for are located just off Route 11 in Berwick on South Poplar Street at Tri-County Lumber.
We're Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg, home of the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Whether it's a new GMC Sierra 4x4, Acadia, or Terrain, or any of the full lineup of Buick SUVs, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed. We've got a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles too. Local, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Why shop anywhere else when you'll get the best selection, the best financing, and the most for your trade at Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg. We're taking deals the other guys won't.
December 3rd, 1983, Crispin Field. Berwick finishes an unbeaten season, ranked #1 in the country by the USA Today, as quarterback Bo Orlando leads the Dogs to a 41-0 win over North Pocono in the Eastern Conference Final.
Back to throw, pump fake, looking, fires long for Thomas. He's got it, a Berwick touchdown.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
We're at halftime from Crispin Field in Berwick. A terrific first half of football between these two powers from Ohio and Pennsylvania. Berwick leading Cleveland St. Ignatius by a score of 21-14 at the half. Ignatius started quickly. On their first possession after a short Berwick punt, they took over at the Bulldogs' 32-yard line. 3 plays later, they were into the end zone. Joe Gonzalez, their outstanding senior running back, in from the 4-yard line. Mike Kessick kicked the extra point, and St. Ignatius had an early 7-0 lead. Berwick put together a scoring drive later in that first quarter. They finally got some life. Actually, Ignatius had another opportunity in Berwick territory to score and add to their lead. They did not, and then Berwick put together a terrific drive, 8 plays, 84 yards. Marshman, an 8-yard touchdown pass to Brandon George on a 4th down call for the score. Biggest play, a 51-yard run by Dana Keck. Marshman, who had a big first half running the football for the Bulldogs, also ran 17 yards on that drive. Chris Banyas kicked the extra point, and the score was tied at 7 with 4:01 to go in the first quarter. St. Ignatius came right back. Their first play from scrimmage following the Berwick score, a 52-yard bomb from Mike Kelly to Tom Arth, setting up a Joe Gonzalez touchdown a couple plays later from 5 yards out. With 3:02 to go in the quarter after another Kessick extra point, St. Ignatius had a lead of 14-7. The Wildcats had an opportunity to add to that lead as they took over at the Berwick 28-yard line later in that first quarter. But Berwick came up with a defensive stand they had to have and took over at the 26-yard line. And from there, they put together a scoring drive to tie it. 7 plays, 74 yards. Again, scoring after a timeout. This time a pass from Jeff Marshman to Chris Banyas with 9:42 to go in the first half. Big plays along the way. Runs by Marshman of 33 and 15 yards. And a 10-yard pass completion from Marshman to Brandon George. Chris Banyas again with the extra point. Score was tied at 14. On St. Ignatius' next possession, quarterback Mike Kelly had a pass tipped, picked off by Vaughn Welsh of the Bulldogs, and the junior raced 30 yards for a touchdown to give Berwick their first lead. Chris Banyas kicked the extra point. Berwick 21, Cleveland St. Ignatius 14 with 8:02 to go in the half. St. Ignatius responded like a champion, taking over at their 39. They drove all the way downfield to the Berwick 3-yard line. But from there, they tried some trickery, lost yardage back to the 11. Eventually, they got back to the 3 on a 4th down and goal. Mike Kelly was sacked by J.D. Stanley, stopping the threat. But Berwick was not able to get a first down and run out the clock, forced to kick to Cleveland St. Ignatius. A pass completion to Tom Arth put them down at the 20-yard line, and on the last play of the first half, Mike Kelly threw a pass that just went beyond the reach of Arth in the end zone. So halftime ends with Berwick leading St. Ignatius by a score of 21-14. We'll be back with a halftime guest in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Ameriprise Advisors can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help you prepare for whatever life brings, so you can feel more confident about your financial future. Call Jeffrey McKinnon, Certified Financial Planner with McKinnon Financial Group, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. 570-520-4137. The office is located at 118B East 3rd Street in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member of FINRA and SIPC.
Berwick Bulldog football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
We're at halftime from Crispin Field in Berwick. Jam-packed crowd has watched a very entertaining first half of football. Berwick leading Cleveland St. Ignatius by a score of 21-14. Our halftime guest is the athletic director at Cleveland St. Ignatius, Dale Gabor. And Dale, it was a very, very interesting first half.
Well, as you said, Jim, this has been a terrific first half of football, and this is what we expected when we got here, and it's working out just the way we expected. Great football first half, and certainly going to be a great second half.
You know, in some respects, it started a little like last year. Cleveland St. Ignatius scored their first possession, made it look rather easy when they did it, and then after Berwick had the bad punch, so on, things had that look of last year, but then it changed.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about it, you're right. I thought of it initially on the very first time we came down and we scored and that. If you remember last year, though, I think it was like the second series that Berwick fumbled the ball. We came right back and scored a quick touchdown, and before people had a chance to really even sit down, it was 14-0. The difference in the ball game right now is the Berwick kids have played a great first half. They've made no mistakes, and that's how you win ball games, when you don't make mistakes.
The Berwick crowd, which really wasn't in the game last year because of the circumstances you mentioned, very much in the game, but I would doubt whether any crowd is going to have any effect on this Cleveland St. Ignatius team. I guess last year in those two heartbreaking losses to Canton McKinley, they were huge crowds.
Well, there were huge crowds, and the kids are used to playing in front of large crowds, and I think this is why, you know, we enjoy coming down here and we enjoy playing good football teams, because this is a great experience for the kids. I mean, where else can 16, 17-year-old kids play in front of 10,000 people on a Saturday afternoon? So that's why we enjoy it. We really, as I've said to you last year, we would love to have you people come down to Cleveland, because it would be the similar type crowd. We'd have 10,000 people there, and it'd be great for the kids, and it's been good.
Dale, is scheduling a problem at Cleveland St. Ignatius?
Oh, absolutely. And it would be much like if Berwick was totally independent, which we are. You can imagine how difficult it would be to come up with 10 games every year, and that's basically what we do. Now, we have our normal opponents that we've had over the years, our rivals and that type of thing. But, yeah, it is a very, very difficult thing to do, is to put together a schedule.
I understand you have two Pennsylvania schools in addition to Berwick on the schedule for this year.
Yes, we're going to be hosting Bethlehem Catholic next week. And of course, I don't have to tell the people up here what Bethlehem Catholic's about. They have a very, very fine program, and certainly they're going to give us a run for our money. And then at the end of the year, we're coming back up to Glen Mills to play Glen Mills, who has played us very, very tough. We beat them last year. I don't remember the score. It's 25-7 or 10 or something like that. But they hit hard. They play great football, and that's what we're after. We're looking for good football.
Well, Dale, obviously your school has a lot of advantage. The 1,300 boys, the great reputation academically as a college prep school, and all those things. But put all that together, you still have to have a coaching staff. And boy, Chuck Kyle, and I guess his two top assistants have been with him from the very start, from 16 years ago. Obviously, they do a very good job.
Jim, there's no question about it. I'm blessed with a great coaching staff here, and Chuck Kyle, and he's had 7 or 8 guys who have been with him since we started this run about 10 years ago. And as any coach will tell you, that's important to a program, to have consistency in the coaching staff, have those people there. The kids respect the coaches, and it makes for a winning combination, no question about it.
And I'm continually amazed how he can trot one first-year starting senior quarterback out there after another and be successful with that.
Well, it's a two-way thing here. I think, first of all, we're blessed with some great kids, some kids who want to learn, kids who work very hard in the off-season to get better, and certainly Mike Kelly has done that this past year. We're also very fortunate, too. We have, as I say, the coaching staff has been outstanding. They've been there for years. Nick Restivo is our offensive coordinator and has also been works with our quarterbacks. And, and the kids know the program, they know the system, and they work hard at it. And between what the coaches put in and the time that the kids put in, it makes for a good combination.
Now, it's very difficult to project, I suppose, this early in the season, but you had to. If you look down the way, obviously Cleveland St. Ignatius has their eyes on the big prize, that is the state championship. They've won 7 of those. who would appear to be the hurdles? Obviously, last year you knew from the start that Canton McKinley was the team.
Boy, that is a tough question, because as I look at our schedule, I mean, we look at Berwick, and Berwick certainly, they're defending state champ up here in Pennsylvania. They're going to make a run for their money this year too. Bethlehem Catholic, we know Bethlehem Catholic well enough to know that they have a great program. We have our arch rival St. Ed's up in Cleveland, and everyone will tell you there, no matter what the scores are, what the records are, you can throw them out. It's a great matchup. Certainly Canton McKinley is defending state champ, national champ. They've got a number of good kids coming back. We've got a lot of good teams on our schedule. We really do.
But when you get into postseason, assuming that you get there, Canton McKinley again would be the...
Well, certainly Canton McKinley's going to, they've got to have, be a favorite there simply because they're the defending champion. I understand too, and to be frank with you, I haven't followed it that closely, but the word that I've heard from others that Warren Harding High School up in Warren, Ohio is very, very good this year too. So I don't know. I think there's a number of teams. Strongsville High School, who is in Northeast Ohio, is very, very good this year. So there are some awfully good teams in the Cleveland area.
Well, Dale, I want to thank you for stopping by. You and this entire any connection that I've had with Cleveland State Nations the last 2 years has been first class. This has been an enjoyable first half. I'm sure it'll be enjoyable the next half. And good luck to you and your school the rest of the way.
Jim, thanks very, very much. And certainly, as I said before, we'd love to continue this. This has been great for both states. It's been great for both schools, and certainly for the kids. And hopefully, this is the last time we have to play each other.
Thank you very much. Dale Gabor, the athletic director of Cleveland State Ignatius, our guest here at halftime. Berwick leading the Wildcats of Cleveland State Ignatius by a score of 21-14. We'll be back to take a statistical look at the first half in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Rinnai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Right here at halftime, Berwick leading Cleveland St. Ignatius 21-14. Berwick on top of the scoreboard. And what about the statistics, Andy Lickman?
Very, very close, Jim. Total yardage, Ignatius has a minimal lead at 172 yards in total offense. Berwick with 164, so they're close, but Ignatius has the edge. But Ignatius committed the killer turnover. An interception in their own area that's able to go by Von Welsh turned into a touchdown. So that critical turnover, one of the biggest statistics we'll see, even though everything else pretty much evens out. While the teams are even in total offense, they've done it in different ways. Berwick has 133 on the ground and 31 in the air, heavily with the ground game, skewing their total yardage stats. On the other hand, St. Ignatius is the reverse, 128 in the air and 44 on the ground. So teams are even, doing it different ways, and that turnover being the key right now to the scoreboard.
For St. Ignatius, the running game looked strong with Joe Gonzalez early. In his first 4 carries, he had 44 yards and 2 touchdowns. From that point on, 4 more carries, and he's gone backwards. He's down to 40 yards on a total of 8 carries. As Berwick toughened up in the C gap, defensive ends no longer giving ground, getting help from linebackers and corners coming up hard to fill. Dan Murphy had a play near the goal line where they pitched him the ball, and it looked like he wanted to toss it to the quarterback, but the quarterback never got it.
On the line of scrimmage. Time out on the field. 7:36 to go in the third quarter. Berwick 27. Cleveland St. Ignatius 21. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Have you heard the buzz about Bazing? Discover the money-saving benefits of a new Bazing checking account from First Columbia Bank. You'll earn interest and save money with local and national shopping and dining deals. And that's not all. You'll also get cell phone protection, roadside assistance, prescription drug savings, and more. Plus, for a limited time, when you open your new Bazing interest checking, we'll thank you with a free pair of Century earbuds. Now that you know what the buzz is all about, make a beeline to First Columbia Bank and open your account today. Terms and conditions apply.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Ensuing kickoff is fielded by Larry Vanderwoord of Cleveland St. Ignatius. Belted out of bounds by Chris Luton and John Spencer near the St. Ignatius 40-yard line. We have a lot of excitement in the first half, and it's picked up right where it left off here in the second half. St. Ignatius, 1 possession, a touchdown, 65-yard pass. Berwick, 1 possession, a touchdown, 28-yard run, 27-21 Bulldogs, 7:31 to go, third quarter.
Berwick's defense had a first good initial part of the series, but the third down play killed them in that previous drive.
Ignatius at their 39-yard line with a 1st and 10. Kelly fakes handoff, sack to throw, fires on the ball, is tipped and incomplete. Looked like Jason Koch got a hand on the football, and then John Spencer and Vaughn Welsh almost had a chance to pick off.
And Koch playing an unfamiliar position. He was tabbed as a defensive end, suffered some illness where he couldn't earn that spot and play there in the opener. But because of a twisted ankle to other people, some problems in the linebacker spot, they moved him inside, and that was a big play, almost intercepted.
2nd and 10 Wildcats at their own 39. Kelly from shotgun. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Plenty of time. Looking long for Vollison again. Knocked down by Vaughn Welsh. Terrific play by the junior. Vollison made another great effort, but Welsh was up to the task there.
There's tremendous talent at receiver and in the secondary for both these teams. Vollison's a top-notch prospect. You saw the touchdown player who was able to get beyond Banyas and wrestle it away. This time they try to go on Vaughn Welsh. Berwick primarily is taking the deep passes away with just the safeties, trying to keep 5 people underneath and take that short passing game away.
3rd and 10, St. Ignatius. At their own 39, slots to the left side. Kelly rolls to his left, stops, fires over the middle. The ball is tipped and incomplete. John Spencer with a terrific play. That ball right on target to the 6'5" tight end, Mike Harris, and his Berwick crowd on their their feet. A standing ovation for the defense.
And Spencer's had impact hits. Now he has an impact play in coverage. A 6'5" tight end down the middle, and he has to lock on him man to man as Berwick was blitzing. And he is there to make that big play. First punt of the game for Ignatius.
Chris Banyas and Vaughn Welsh deep. Ryan Mutzel, who's not their usual punter, is back there to do the punting, and he absolutely crushes one. And Banyas will defer the fair catch, try to go with it, and is brought down in his tracks about the 21-yard line. Matt Fordyce is their normal kicker, but he's the captain of the soccer team, and he's playing soccer. They bring in Mutzel, and he left foot's a long punt. Now, Chris Banyas is down on the play. This may be a cramp. In fact, Andy, I thought I saw him trying to work a cramp out of his leg even before that punt came down. He was limping a bit and trying to work something out.
They rolled down the sock, and they are squeezing that right calf. And, of course, it's a painful thing at the moment, but that Charlie horse eventually goes. If I'm George Curry, I tell the trainers, keep him on the field as long as you can. Let him recuperate there. Get people some water. You want to have Chris Banyas ready to go offensively as soon as you can, so keep the clock stopped and delay this as much as possible.
Andy, a lot of storylines in this game, but I think the one storyline is the running of Jeff Marshman. I'd like to say that I called George Curry Tuesday night and said, please run the quarterback, but I have a conscience, can't do that. But that really has been the difference, at least for Berwick offensively.
It's been a difference for the entire Berwick program. The running quarterback has always separated them. When you meet other good teams, you know, they can conventionally, a defense can stop any runner or stop any fullback or stop any counter or any wing T or stop any receivers. But when you throw that extra element of the running quarterback into the mix, it just poses too many problems. Somewhere you have to, you know, make a concession. If you keep people into shadow of the quarterback, you don't have enough people on pass coverage, enough for pass rush. And that extra element has always been a dimension George Curry has been aware of. You know, we forgot about it in the opener because it wasn't needed. But George Curry always liked to run that quarterback, and it's often been the difference in the big game. And Jeff Marshman might be one of the finest running quarterbacks he had. If he didn't quarterback, he was playing some fullback last year. He's a tough kid, big frame, fine speed. And the way he just crumbled Joe Gonzalez on that last touchdown run, he's a tough guy to bring down. He's not a quarterback you're going to grab with a hand and toss down to the ground. You better make sure you're in position, you're squared, you're getting the shoulder in right. And still, I think Marshman's going to push you the other way after that collision.
And two of the biggest plays in this game came on option when he pitched the ball to Dana Keck. And, of course, if you don't respect the running of Jeff Marshman, that option really isn't much.
No, the execution's outstanding, but this time go to George Curry. Go to the strategy of that play. He's aware that Ignatius now is trying to stop my running quarterback. We're meeting with success. They're going to make adjustments. The mentality of the defender is to get on that quarterback before he can go. So they overplay the quarterback, the quick little pitch, and there's a huge lane for the very speedy Keck. Keck had 2 carries for 78 yards on that option. It's just a great play, and Keck itself has that great speed to make the most of it. He left, it was Joe Gonzalez in the dust. And again, Gonzalez is being recruited not as a running back, but as a Division I cornerback, and they've made some great plays on him.
Well, Banyas goes off the field. It appears that cramps are the problem. Berwick has it at their 21-yard line. Dana Keck is the lone running back. And a toss sweep left side to Keck, and he will be brought down right at the 20-yard line. As St. Ignatius was all over that play, led by Chris Strawn, a 6', 225-pound senior, and 223-pound senior middle linebacker Larry Vanderoord.
Yeah, the blocking broke down. Berwick did not get the good push out at tight end like they have in the previous series in this half. All of a sudden, people defeated the blockers. The Berwick blocker is down on the ground with his feet sprawled out. The running back has no chance.
2nd and 9. Make it 11 for Berwick. 2nd and 11 at their 20-yard line. Marshman will operate from shotgun. Dustin Welsh comes in motion to the left side. The snap is there. Marshman back to throw. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Mike Connor, the intended receiver. Dustin Welsh had broken open deep.
Yeah, there were people open, and the quarterback didn't see it soon enough. You would have had Connor if he threw it sooner. He let him run a little bit too far and then threw it behind him. Welsh also breaking coverage. Early in the game, the Berwick receivers weren't breaking coverage, weren't able to open it up. But the threat of the run now is very significant. With the heat in this particular Saturday afternoon game, the cornerbacks may be fatiguing a little bit. Berwick fresh coming off sharp.
3rd down and 11. Berwick at their 20. Dustin Welch in motion to the right side. From shotgun, Marshman has the snap, pump fake, rolls to his left. Now he's in trouble. He'll be brought down back at the 18-yard line. The good defensive series by Cleveland St. Ignatius. Chris Strawn in on the play. And a punt unit on for the Bulldogs.
Not a good offensive series for Berwick. Blocking breakdowns on the first play, a pass behind the man when 2 men are open. And this time, even though it takes a while, he should have bought time. He couldn't find the receiver and goes down rather easily. I think that the sort of stall that we had after Banyas cramped up took away from the offensive momentum.
Follison and Boyagi deep for the Wildcats. Travis Brown will punt for Berwick. He's back at his 7-yard line. It's a good snap. Gets the kick away. Very, very high. Angles it toward Boyagi. He will let it roll. Nice roll where Berwick is concerned. And will roll dead close to the 40-yard line of Cleveland St. Ignatius. So good job by the sophomore Travis Brown and good kick coverage by Berwick. But St. Ignatius in good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 40 with 5:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Berwick leading 27-21.
Berwick's best way of stopping this offense is to keep the ball themselves. 3 downs and punt does not help them on a series where they need to get a little bit more. That was a nice punt. I thought Vollison should have picked it up on the bounce. Would have saved his team about 10 yards. But this offensive machine is ready to go. St. Ignatius has shown a lot of prowess, only punting once the entire game, that being on their last possession.
Vaughn Welch has to come off with help. Well, he's made some outstanding plays in this ball game. Walking off, okay, it is extremely hot today, so we're going to have some physical problems, whether it's dehydration or cramps or just exhaustion out here. Dustin Welch has replaced him at the safety spot along with Chris Banyas.
Watch for St. Ignatius to exploit the area that the injured man leaves.
And Kelly will operate from shotgun. 1st and 10 Wildcats. He takes the snap, quarterback draw. He cuts it to the outside. Breaks away from a tackle over midfield, lowers his shoulder, gets a first down. Strong effort by Mike Kelly. Chris Banyas had to make the play, but from all reports that we had was that Kelly, when compared to Dave Rigoni, their outstanding quarterback of a year ago, is a better runner. That time he showed that he can run. 1st and 10 at the Berwick 46.
He scrambled well through the game, but that time it's a quarterback run by design. You watch what Marshman does. You see the spark he gives the team, and offensively as a coordinator, you get that same package going.
Kelly again from shotgun after his 16-yard run to the Berwick 46. He takes the snap. Again, he's going to run. Tries the right side and is brought down at the 40-yard line. So now Cleveland St. Ignatius starting to run their quarterback. Larry Hook makes the stop, but 6 yards on the first down carry. 2nd down and 4. Wildcats at the Bulldogs 40.
Again, how do you solve the riddle? How do you move on Berwick's defense? They've been stopping Gonzalez on the run. They've been stopping the short passing game. They've been stopping the long passing game. So add the element of the running quarterback.
2nd down and 4 at the Berwick 40-yard line. Gonzalez, the lone running back behind Kelly. Gonzalez gets the call. Nice move to get by a tackler. Then he is stood up by J.D. Stanley, short of the first down yardage.
Might depend on the spot. He got close to it. It's going to be 3rd and a little less than a yard, perhaps. He got by the first man. Cope was there, but then the hard hit coming afterwards.
3rd down and 1, St. Ignatius at the Berwick 37. Clock running under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs leading by 6. Slot to the right side. Arth is wide left. Gonzalez gets the call, looks for the first down yardage, and has it as he powers inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Brandon George makes the stop from his linebacker position.
Credit the offensive line. They moved the pile. They sent people back. Berwick's front was pretty much on roller skates. Ignatius isn't oversized up front, but they have that nice, tall, athletic lineman. Everyone on the line is well over. Credit the offensive line. They moved the pile. They sent people back. Berwick's front was pretty much on roller skates.
Ignatius isn't oversized up front, but they have that nice, tall, athletic lineman. Everyone on the line is well over 6 foot. And that time they got off on the snap. They surged, and they got that for Gonzalez easily.
Kelly from shotgun on first down for the Berwick 34. Long count, takes the snap, quarterback draw. Cuts it to the right side, looks for room, drags the tackler to the 30-yard line. Kelly Davenport makes the stop from his nose guard position. So 4 yards on that carry. Second down and 6 for the Wildcats at the Bulldog 30.
It's like St. Ignatius is saying, we can do this too. Our quarterback is known for his running, a very elusive runner. As we spread you out with the passing look and force you to honor all the threats that we have in this offense, can you stop the running quarterback as well?
Murphy and Gonzalez are the running backs now. Second down call from the Berwick 30. Kelly gives to Gonzalez. Hit behind the line, keeps his footing, and kept inside the 30 to the 28. Well, that's a good effort because Jason Koch got great penetration, almost brought him down in the backfield, able to get away, and then Brandon George finished him off. But he does get some yardage to the 29-yard line.
And Berwick's making a lot of almost big plays. They need to make 1 or 2 of those, though. He bounces that off. He moves the ball forward. Great penetration, great effort. He throws them off stride. It makes it easier for the other tacklers, but still a gain on the play.
Third down, about 5 for the Wildcats from the 29. Kelly play action, back to throw, fires over the middle, has the tight end, Paris. Paris is dragged down, but not before he gets close to the Berwick 10-yard line. Mike Paris is a great target at 6'5". Ken Locker dragged him down. But St. Ignatius on the march, trying to regain the lead. First and goal at the Berwick 10.
Run. Get the defense thinking run, and now come play action pass down the middle. It's this team's strength, the passing, and after getting the team think run, it's very effective.
Gonzalez and Murphy are the running backs behind Mike Kelly. Toss sweep right side. Gonzalez cuts it into the middle. Stood up, but not before he gets to the Berwick 5-yard line. Closing moments, third quarter. Berwick leading by 6. But that lead in jeopardy is Cleveland St. Ignatius with a second and goal at the Bulldog 5.
Teams are getting tired offensively and defensively. Those matchups, the man you've been across from the entire time in the trenches, who's going to fatigue more? Who's going to have the gut check? Who's going to make it happen? Offensively, Cleveland Ignatius needs this score. They're behind in the ball game. It's gut check time for them. Gut check time for Berwick's D.
Follison wide to the right. Vaughn Welsh back in the Berwick lineup. Injured earlier. He's got the coverage on Follison from the 5. Kelly back to throw. Pump fake. Now he's going to keep it. Now he's rolling to his left. Looking for the corner of the end zone. He gets in for the touchdown. Mike Kelly goes in for the score.
Berwick fans are booing because they saw the same clip that I saw. Fullback Dan Murphy took a defensive end who could have chased the play down out from behind. However, the officials are following the play. It's already beyond their sight. And Dan Murphy gets away with a hit from behind from the man who would have made the tackle. It is a touchdown. It's going to count on the board, but the Berwick fans not appreciating it.
Now, Ignatius can regain the lead. Kessick with the extra point attempt. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 51 seconds to go in the third quarter with the score. Cleveland St. Ignatius 28, Berwick 27. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
Mason's Monogram in Berwick is gearing up for the holiday season. With over 30 years experience, this family-owned and operated business has the perfect Christmas gift for anyone, whether you shop in person or buy online at masonsmonogramming.com. They have the latest selection of Bulldog items, masks, robes, blankets, winter gear, and apparel. Indestructible silicone cups, koozies, decals, brand new Berwick Christmas ornaments, and more. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Closing moments of the third quarter. St. Ignatius has regained the lead. 28-27. Kessick will kick off. Following his extra point, comes up short, fumbled by one of the up men for Berwick back at the 15-yard line, and then buried at the 18-yard line. Well, Chris Boslaw got in front of Chris Banyas, who Berwick wanted to get the ball to. It'll be at the 20-yard line. 4.3 seconds showing on the third quarter clock. Berwick with a first and 10, and the Bulldogs trailing now 28-27.
Lost the edge on the scoreboard and lost the edge in momentum. The last offensive series was flat. Then defensively, Ignatius gets the edge and regains momentum. Berwick needs a shot in the arm here.
Marshman will operate from shotgun. Double slot formation. Takes the snap. Back to throw. He'll be sacked. Back inside the 15-yard line. The momentum really shifting to St. Ignatius now as the third quarter coming to an end. Ball back at the 14-yard line.
Stuck.
Yeah, clock is going wild. Something's wrong. That should have run out a long time ago.
Yeah, for every time the 10th's run by, it goes about 5 times through the cycle before the second runs off. I thought we should have ended the quarter after the kick, and that this last sack play should have been gone. But they'll reset that clock, and we will get the quarter. Problems here.
So the third quarter is history. Cleveland St. Ignatius 28, Berwick 27. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and also quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Berwick. They have a body shop and a full service center servicing all makes and models, and they've been servicing your community for over 30 years. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has earned the highest possible ratings from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including 2020 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year, or choose one of the 50 new Jeeps in stock. Bear Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Pine Street in Berwick.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Jim Doyle, Andy Lickney, and our spotter, Brett Travel Piece from Crispin Field in Berwick. 28-27. Cleveland St. Ignatius leads Berwick as we start this fourth quarter. Berwick will be moving from our left to our right, and the Bulldogs need a big play to get momentum back. Not only did Ignatius get the lead with that score, but then they got a big sack on Jeff Marshman on the last play of the third quarter, and Berwick facing 2nd and 16 back at their own 14-yard line.
Berwick offense has almost looked in slow motion their last 5 offensive snaps. Berwick team holds up their 4 for the 4th quarter because that's the one they want to dominate. They have to believe that in their heart. They have to overcome the heat. They have to overcome the fatigue. You know, they've been going all afternoon, but so has St. Ignatius. Somehow they have to rejuvenate themselves and play this last quarter as if it's the most important in the world.
Andy, it's going to be very difficult to tell how much time is left in this game for the rest of the way. Explain that problem.
On the extra point by St. Ignatius, the ball hit the scoreboard and it shorted out one of the numerals up there. I think it was the seconds. Now I try to see 12 minutes up there, and all I see is 1:00. So we're not seeing the minutes either, so it's going to be hard to get an accurate read. They may decide to try to keep this on the field if they can't get this fixed.
From my experience, the one thing that you are guaranteed when there's a problem with the scoreboard is it will be a close game.
We've had a close game. Berwick seems to be fading a little bit right now, but perhaps this little break with the scoreboard could work to their advantage. Players can catch their air, catch a little water with the quarter change, and talk to themselves a little bit. George Curry, Coach Kyle, allowed into the huddles because of this stoppage, and it's time for a pep talk. Berwick must make things happen. They handicapped themselves at the very first play of this series by taking that sack, but they have to regroup. They can't allow the Ignatius offense to get the ball that often. They have to control it here. Now they have to get points.
Well, Ignatius has 2 scoring plays in this second half. You look back to those. One was the pass to Bollison where Berwick had it covered well. He just went high in the air, beat the defender to the ball, and ended up with a clear path to the end zone. And then the roll for the touchdown by the quarterback, Kelly, and a clip that was not called. Could have really turned things around.
And very difficult. You can't blame the officiating. He's rolling with the quarterback, and the clip takes place behind him. So the referee is not going to see that. And the umpire and your back judge and side judge and linesman have other areas of responsibility. No one's really going to see that play. But, boy, everyone in the stands is able to see it from their perspective where you have the whole field in view. Even in the press box asking around, I didn't want to feel like I was a partisan here in rooting. Berwick fans noticing it, as the sports writers here in the box as well.
So the ball is at the 14-yard line. Right now there is no time showing up on that clock. So we may get into one of those difficult situations where all of it is kept down on the field.
It may be. It'll be probably kept by the back judge, or there's a side judge in this game. They're distant from the ball.
In motion is Irvin. We've started the 4th quarter. Second down, Berwick. Quarterback draw. Marshman has a little bit of room. Over the 20, over the 25, out to the 27-yard line. They needed 16. Doesn't get all of it, but a lot of it. Doug Giese makes the stop from a linebacker position. 13 yards for Jeff Martian. 3rd down and 3, Berwick.
Puts him at 100 yards for the game, but he's not running as confidently as he had earlier. Again, it's a long afternoon. He's taken a lot of shots. That did open well for him. Not quite the same zip we'd seen in the first half.
Now Benny Colbert, a sophomore, is in there at a running back. Marshman will operate from shotgun, and a flag comes down and a whistle before that play could get started.
Head linesman Cal Bardo is at the chains, and he throws that flag. St. Ignatius is lined up in the neutral zone, and that's going to give Berwick the first down. It did look like the right side of the defensive line was leaning, trying to get every edge they can, and they encroach into the neutral zone.
We are early in the 4th quarter. Just how early, we can't tell you. We're not going to be able to tell you much about the clock from this point on because the scoreboard clock is not in operation. Bulldogs, 1st and 10 at their 32. Slot to the left side. Marshman takes the snap. Pump fake. Here comes the rush. He'll be sacked back at the 27-yard line. Steve Zavara, 6 foot, 227-pound senior, makes the play for the Wildcats. Loss of 4 back to the 28. 2nd down and 14.
Short drop and only the 4-man rush, but Zamara comes very, very hard. Quarterback can't find that receiver on the quick hitter. The coverage is too strong, and they suffer the sack. Only 2 sacks in the first half that Marshman suffered. Here in the second half, 3 additional sacks added to that tally. 5 for the game.
Second down call coming. Marshman lined up under center, then shifts to shotgun, trips to the right side. Takes the snap, back to throw, fires incomplete. A little bit behind the intended receiver, Dustin Welsh. Couldn't hang on, so now it's a 3rd and 14 call from the 28.
Slant, and he wants to catch it in stride because the significant yards is going to come after the catch. It was a little bit behind him. He wanted to make the catch but not break stride, and that's tough to do. Had he caught it, he probably would have been hit, but he would have had some yardage. Probably make this into about a 3rd and 9 rather than a 3rd and 15.
So very, very difficult call coming. 14 yards needed for the first down. Berwick at their own 28, trailing by a point early in the fourth quarter. Jim Henry back there for blocking purposes as Marshman will operate from shotgun. Dustin Welsh in motion right to left. The snap is there. Marshman back to throw. Fires over the middle for Banyas. Makes the catch to midfield. First and 10 Berwick. A bullet pass. Jeff Marshman to Chris Banyas. 22 yards. Ron Lally makes the stop.
George Curry said that his big-timers have to outplay St. Ignatius' big-timers. Banyas there comes through. He's running the deep post type of pattern right over the middle. He's going to take a shot, but he goes high and he makes that catch and he moves the chains for his team. Berwick wants to maintain possession, not turn it back over to Ignatius. Plus, they need to score on the drive.
First and 10 from midfield. Irvin, the lone running back, fake to him. Marshman keeps the football, spins to about the Ignatius 46-yard line. Gain of 4. Larry Vanderoord makes the stop from his middle linebacker position for the Wildcats.
A great block by Jim Henry in a tight end. He fronted his man and pushed him to the outside. He really had to fight to open that C-gap. Marshman showed like he wanted to go wide, but he's able to turn it inside that tight end block. That's a nice opening play here for this new series of downs.
Second down and 6. Berwick at the Cleveland St. Ignatius 46-yard line. The give is to Irvin, and he is going nowhere. Meets a stone wall led by Larry Vanderoord and Chris Strawn. So it'll bring up another 3rd down call for Berwick.
Every now and then you got to sacrifice that running back up the middle because you want Larry Vanderoord to realize you may try that play. Keep that middle linebacker inside. Don't let him help wide when this quarterback's bouncing it outside. He's the man who is the key, and every now and then you got to try that play, even though you know in your heart it's probably not going to get yardage. He fills hard, and that time he did again.
Sun has gone behind the clouds for the first time today. 3rd down and 7. Berwick at the Ignatius 47 from shotgun. Marshman has the snap. Looking, fires on the middle. Dustin Welsh has it at the 30. And hit and dropped at the 27-yard line. Another big 3rd down play. Marshman on target to Dustin Welsh. Ryan Wally with the stop.
Earlier in this drive, there was a drop on the same slant-in pattern, but it was open if executed. This time, Welsh is able to hold on to it, catch it in stride, and keeps taking it. Develops a little bit downfield further, so he gets about 10 yards on the catch, and then the run afterwards extends it further.
21 yards altogether. First and 10, Berwick at the Ignatius 26. Bulldogs trail by a point in the fourth quarter. Marshman from shotgun takes the snap. They're coming hard. He'll have to eat the football and lose yardage back to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. St. Ignatius coming hard. Larry Vanderoord among the people in on the play. He's been very active from that middle linebacker position this afternoon.
He is a force, and they're anticipating Berwick to go with the pass. Berwick has been mixing its offense very well. This time they thought that they would get that type of play, and they send Vanderoord up the middle. He does pressure the quarterback. 4th sack of the half for St. Ignatius. 7th in the game, but still Jeff Marshman with 93 yards rushing, even taking all those negative yards away from the sacks.
Second down and 14 from the Ignatius 30. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Now Connors goes in motion left to right. Marshman has the snap from shotgun. Back to throw. Man in pursuit. Sacked. Back at the 35-yard line. Terrific play by Curtis Bowman. 6'5", 239-pound senior. Came in low on the ankles of Jeff Marshman. And boy, how many long third down plays can Berwick make? It's now 3rd and 19. They've converted on 3rd and 14 and 3rd and 7. They'll talk about this one. Timeout, Berwick. 4th quarter action. Bulldogs trail by 1. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Surprise that special someone with jewelry from J. Lilo Jewelers in downtown Bloomsburg. Lilo's is a full-service jewelry store offering one of the area's largest selections of diamonds, wedding bands, watches, sterling silver, and gold jewelry. Lilo's repairs jewelry and watches on site. You may also find that one-of-a-kind piece in the popular estate section. Come in and see Jeff for that special gift for that special someone for any occasion at J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street, Bloomsburg. J. Lilo Jewelers wishes all athletes success this season.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Now Dustin Welsh comes in motion left to right. From shotgun, Marshman has the snap, has the ball, fires long over the middle into coverage. A huge collision down at the 10-yard line, incomplete. Chris Banyas bounces up. Boy, he took a terrific hit. Helmet went flying off. He's okay. Mark Sylvester put the wood to him, and now Berwick 4th and 19 at the Ignatius 35-yard line. This is a very, very difficult call.
Yes, it is. It's going to be hard. It's not a situation where I think I'd punt. You might see the quarterback run. You want to at least get some positive yards, even if you don't get to the chains, at least change field position a little bit more.
Berwick will go for it. From the 35, 4th down and 19. Trips to the right. Marshman under center. Takes the snap, back to throw. Has some time. Fires over the middle. Ball tipped it incomplete. Intended for Mike Connor, and a very good defensive play by Tom Costello, the linebacker for Cleveland St. Ignatius. So the Wildcats, with a big defensive stand, take over and take the football at the 35-yard line, leading by 1, and now the pressure on that Berwick defensive unit.
It is. They need to make a quick stop here. They're losing by that 1 point. They need the ball back. It's going to take their offense sometimes to score, and they can't in any way allow Ignatius to get more points.
Wildcats at their 35. Arth comes in motion to the left side. Kelly takes the snap, gives the ball to Gonzalez. Flag flies as he gets outside, gets all the way out to the 46-yard line. Might come back, though. It will. A hold against the Wildcats.
Fullback Andre Maletti got in there hard on the defensive end and didn't have the angle to move him in, and yet the defensive end went inside. I imagine that's where that holding call occurred, about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That will be a significant change in field position. Had the play stood, Ignatius is in good position. But from the line of scrimmage, they'll march it back 10.
Now, Jeff Peters, who's played an awful lot of football today with the injury to John Ohl, will come out, get a breather, and Paul Irvin will move into the defensive unit for Berwick. The penalty will go back to the 25-yard line. 1st down and 20 for Cleveland St. Ignatius.
Berwick will go with the nickel package. 1st and 20 pretty much tips you off that you're going to be seeing passes. Kelly is back in the shotgun.
First down and 20 for the Cats at their 25. Mike Kelly has the snap, quarterback draw, rolling right, and he'll get a couple over the 30 out to about the 32-yard line. Defends pretty well. Kelly Davenport, along with Jason Koch, combining on the stop for Berwick.
The 1st and 20, and the quarterback decides to run. You want to square up and make a sure tackle. If he pushes it ahead 4 yards or 5 yards, that's all right. You just can't let him break that big one.
Second down and 13. St. Ignatius at their own 32-yard line. They lead by 1 in the 4th quarter. Kelly from shotgun. Takes the snap, back to throw, has time, dumps it out to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to the sideline, ridden down by Ken Lockhart. Got over the 40-yard line. Now they're marking it right about the 40, so he picked up 8. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Closer and closer, 1st and 20, now a 3rd and a long 5 is makeable. Berwick, part of their game plan was to take those flares away, but we haven't seen many through the game. Here in a critical situation, they do hit Gonzalez with one. Berwick's there to stop it, but not until it gets 8 yards.
St. Ignatius will use a timeout here. We are in the 4th quarter. St. Ignatius 28, Berwick 27. We're back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to offer the Air Scrubber by Aris. It reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses and their health effects. Air scrubbers don't just treat the air, they also help to clean the surfaces of your home, such as countertops, bathrooms, kitchens, and doorknobs. The Air Scrubber is quick and easy, designed to fit into your existing HVAC system. Learn more by calling 1-888-KOWALSKI or on the web at sjkowalski.com.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
Jim Doyle, Andy Lichty, our spotter, Brett Travelpiece from Crispin Field in Berwick. Scoreboard clock has not been in operation for this final period. We've just been informed there's around 5 minutes to go. St. Ignatius has used the timeout. Both two teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Cleveland St. Ignatius leading Berwick 28-27. So with that time, 5 minutes, this is a huge call here. 3rd and 5, St. Ignatius at their own 40-yard line. Mike Kelly operating from shotgun. Takes the snap, back to throw, fires to the sideline. Great catch, Follison gets out of bounds. 1st and 10, St. Ignatius. Follison comes back and makes the grab at the Berwick 47-yard line.
Move the chains, new set of downs, at least 3 more plays that they're going to get off before Berwick has the opportunity, unless they force a turnover. We'll see a 4-minute warning from the officials. They will stop things when it gets under 4 minutes and inform the sidelines. That'll give us our next tip when we're down at that point with the time.
13 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 Wildcats to the Bulldogs 47. Now Maletti is the fullback in the I formation. Gonzalez gets the call off the right side. Skirts for a couple. The 43-yard line. Boy, Gonzalez has played a lot of football this afternoon, both defensively and offensively. Still looks pretty fresh as he picks up 5 to the 42 before Paul Irvin can make the stop.
Yeah, he's a speedster, and he's a tough individual at that. 13 carries for 60 yards offensively, receiving 2 catches for 12 yards.
Now the officials have stopped play momentarily. Looks like an equipment problem as Andre Maletti had to go to the sideline. Ball at the Berwick 42-yard line. Pressure on that Bulldog defense. Berwick trails by a point. Somewhere around 4.5 minutes to go in this football game. Call goes to Gonzalez again off the right side. Breaks through one tackle. Gets inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Berwick's playing with pride, trying all they can to do it, but also the pride of the St. Ignatius program is on the line. During that time, you know, Coach Chuck Kyle had to talk to his troops. This is a team that's ranked 4th in the nation, would like to move up to number 1 if the opening occurs for them. And he's telling them, we want to win this, we want to keep it on the ground, milk the clock, and keep moving the chains. That's their objective.
3rd and 1 at the Berwick 38. I formation. Kelly gives the ball to Gonzalez, hit behind the line, breaks away and gets the first down. Oh, Berwick almost had the play they needed. Larry Hook not happy with himself. He had him wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, but that Gonzalez is still running hard. He gets the first down to the 34, and now we're going to have the 4-minute warning given to the sideline. So there's 4 minutes to go in the game. Ignatius has a 1-point lead, and they have the ball at the Berwick 34-yard line with a first down and 10.
Defensive pressure in the backfield, but again, not finishing the play. Very tough to do with tough runners.
I formation once again. And the call is off the right side. This time it went to number 33. That's Liam Shaw with his first carry of the game. They give Gonzalez a breather, and he picks up about 3 to the 31-yard line, 2nd down and 7.
We had asked the Ignatius people who would be the number 2 running back, and they mentioned that a player was injured and not dressed, and they weren't sure who number 3 would be. Here at a critical juncture, we're seeing a fresh jersey in there.
He is a senior, Liam Stahl, from the 31. Fake to him, back to pass as Kelly fires to the sideline, has his man Murphy. Flag down as Murphy breaks the tackle, gets inside the 20-yard line of Berwick. John Spencer on the stop.
As the tackle was being made on Murphy, the flag is thrown. Perhaps a face mask at the point of the tackle. We'll have to see.
Berwick indicating that's against Ignatius and a clip against the Wildcats.
Another receiver downfield in the area must have come back and tried to help that runner along and got a man from behind. That is a big break for Berwick.
And that gain was to the 20-yard line for what would have been a first down.
Keep your eye on the clock as much as possible, that mental clock in your head. We had a 4-minute warning. The ball had been kept in bounds. There was a running play. Makes it all the tougher, approaching 3 minutes somewhere.
2nd down and 12. Ignatius at the Berwick 35. Kelly from shotgun. Takes the snap, back to throw, fires to the sideline. The ball's intercepted. Intercepted. John Spencer to the 40-yard line. Spencer up to the 45. John Spencer picks it off. Berwick trailing by 1 has life.
They needed a huge play. They needed the turnover. St. Ignatius marching methodically down the field. The running game's going, mixing in the occasional pass. Here they go with the pass, and Spencer's had big hits and big breakup, comes up with a huge interception. And then a fine return to his own 45. Berwick with about 3 minutes left has to get down. They're down by 1 point. A field goal can do it if they can get in range.
Marshman under center. 1st and 10 at the 45. Takes the snap and rolls to his right and fires to the sideline. Banyef comes back and makes the catch at the 46-yard line of Ignatius, just short of the first down yardage. There's a flag way behind the line of scrimmage. Personal foul. It will be roughing the passer.
What a catch by Banyef. He had to catch it and tightrope the sideline. In high school, he only needs 1 foot to be in. 2 officials running to the spot, both agreeing that there was possession on the sideline, and he maintained his position. They're marching off the 15 yards from the point of the catch. Spot this ball on the Ignatius 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Berwick.
So the completion to Banyas. Then the roughing the passer tagged on. Berwick at the Cleveland Ignatius 31-yard line, trailing 28-27. Again, the clock being kept on the field. There's around 3 minutes to go. Berwick does have 2 timeouts remaining. Irvin lined up on a wing to the left. No running backs otherwise behind quarterback Jeff Marshman. Dustin Welsh in motion to left, and flags and whistles before the play could get started.
They're trying to alter the cadence. They went on a longer snap count, and it seemed about 3 people exploded before the snap count. They were going to go with the little inside counter to the wingback. Berwick has not run that play yet this year. So along with the penalty coming up, we'll see which way it goes. I think it's against Berwick. No, it's against Ignatius. Ignatius jumped into that zone, and then the line burst off with it at the snap. So 5 more yards. But Berwick shows a play that they wanted to save, a play they hoped might go for a touchdown. They've tipped their hat on that, but they'll take the 5 yards, 1st and 5.
Now, Chuck Kyle is not the least bit happy on the sideline. Berwick at the Ignatius 26-yard line. As Marshman busted play and throws a pass behind the line of scrimmage to Keck, and they will lose yardage back to the 30-yard line. Boy, that one really looked ugly. As Marshman wanted to hand off, there was no one there, and at the last moment he threw a backward pass to Keck. They'll lose 4 to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, since they tipped their hand with that fake scissors play, they wanted to fake the scissors this time. Like they're going to go with the same play and then counter the quarterback with it, who seems to have a trailer almost in a pitch position. They don't want to lose yards, and the clock still moves on that play.
2nd and 9 from the Ignatius 30. Marshman from shotgun. In motion goes Culver. Berwick wants a timeout, and they get it right before the snap.
Or is it a flag? They had 2 people in motion. That's why they wanted the timeout. Curry's on the field. They're signaling timeout. Yes, otherwise it was a 5-yard penalty.
28-27, Ignatius. Last couple of minutes of this ball game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
After serving their country proudly, the associates at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling are ready to serve their community and you directly. They bring their military standards of respect, integrity, and trust to your junk removal needs. Their services include light hauling, contractor cleanup, general labor services, hot tub removal, estate services, and many more. Contact them at 844-GET-JDOG or check out their reviews on Facebook and Google or stop by their homepage at jdog.com.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
We are in the last couple of minutes of this ball game. Wish we could be more specific, but the clock is being kept down on the field. Scoreboard clock not in operation. Berwick with the ball at the Cleveland St. Ignatius 30-yard line. 2nd down and 9, trailing by 1 point. 28-27. Marshman from shotgun. Double slot. Culver in motion left. Marshman takes the snap. Wants to throw to Culver. Not there. Throws downfield to Welsh. Makes the catch down at the 11-yard line. Vaughn Welsh goes up between two defenders. Marshman right on target. First and 10, Berwick.
Tremendous protection. The Berwick 5 up front held their men out. He had all sorts of time. Looked at an initial receiver, looked at a flare, then eventually downfield it opened. Berwick takes another timeout.
We'll keep it right here by our count. That would be it for Berwick where timeouts are concerned. Again, we have no idea what the clock shows remaining in the ball game. Our guess is 1:57. And that is the guess.
It's hard to say. The timeout here surprised me a little bit. The clock on the field being kept would have stopped to move the chains.
We just got word 1:45. 1:45 left.
And Berwick is out of timeouts.
The ball's at the 12. So that was an 18-yard completion of Vaughn Welsh, and that was a beauty, Andy. Jeff Marshman, I think, wanted to dump the ball off to Benny Culver because he looked that way, but Culver was covered. Then he had to look downfield, and there were actually two defenders around the play. So it was a terrific play from both angles for Welsh to get the ball, but especially for Marshman to get it in there.
And one of the keys was the time that he had. The line's key blocking on the inside gave him time to make all those decisions. He did have different ways. In fact, by looking to the man in the flare, the defense has to cheat up toward that, and then that opens Welsh up on the sideline. How will Berwick play it here with 1:45 left to go? Hard call. You keep throwing to the end zone now, or do you try the quarterback run? You play it safe and hope to set up for the field goal.
From the 12-yard line, 1st and 10, Berwick. Banyas in motion right. From shotgun, Marshman fires to Banyas. Banyas at the 10, tries to break away and cannot. Boy, a terrific tackle in the open field that time by number 45 for Cleveland St. Ignatius. That's Mark Sylvester. The ball down at the 10-yard line, a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8. Clock running, around 1:10 to go. Marshman with no timeouts left. Calling signals from the 10, and he just slams the ball into the turf. Bringing up a 3rd down and 8. Berwick needed to get organized. Now they have 2 downs from the 10-yard line of St. Ignatius, trailing by a point. Now, Berwick's kicking game is not that reliable. They do not have a lot of confidence in it. From this point, you'd think, well, field goal wins the game, but they may not want to try that. Their extra points have been a little shaky today. And so from the 10, on 3rd down and 8, they'll come to the line of scrimmage. J.D. Stanley coming on very late. Marshman from shotgun takes the snap. Back to throw. He wants to run with the football, and he's tripped up at the 9-yard line. Good defensive play by number 77, Phil Smith. So the ball back around the 10-yard line.
Al West came into hold, Jim. That clock will run. We're going to set up for a field goal as Ignatius taking a timeout. Yes.
So let's keep it right here. The ball is at the 10-yard line. So a little over a minute remaining in the football game. Berwick is trailing 28-27. Well, that was a good play by Smith, Andy, because if Marshman gets by him, he might be in the end zone.
He also, if he doesn't get in the end zone, he sets up a much easier field goal. He take it toward the middle of the field. This is far from automatic. The kicks have not been good on PATs. Berwick has to be holding their fingers wondering. The 2nd down play, they grounded the ball to stop the clock. I don't know if you wanted to waste that down, but the fact that you can't see the clock, you don't know how much time is left, you have no timeouts left, everything is working against you. I think it's an advantage that St. Ignatius took a timeout here.
Here we go. Berwick trying to regain the lead in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. Berwick's entire team kneeling on the sideline, hand in hand. Al West will hold. At the 18, a 28-yard field goal attempt by Banyas. Long count, and flags fly. It appears that St. Ignatius may have jumped across. We'll check the call.
Berwick saying yes, they're still huddling with it.
Of course, that may not change anything except maybe make Banyas' task a little bit easier.
Might make it a lot easier. He seems like he might be able to put the PAT range kicks in, but from the 10, it's some distance. Makes the angle a little bit sharper for him. But these kicks have been knuckleballing and wobbly. We're not seeing that true end-over-end kick. So I think every yard that you get matters in this attempt.
So now the hold will be around the 12-yard line. 22-yard field goal attempt by Banyas for the lead. Long count. Snap is there. Placement. Kick is up. Kick is good. It's good. A line drive kick just got through there. Banyas did it. Berwick has the lead. Berwick has the lead. Bulldogs 30. St. Ignatius 28. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Forge Pub and Eatery on 11th and Mulberry in Berwick is where you need to go when you want a delicious homemade meal. Even the salad dressings are scratch-made. Open every day at 11 with free delivery to the Berwick area. And check out their Facebook page to get the daily specials. They have a full bar, 10 beers on tap with 5 rotating seasonal brews, and an extensive selection of domestic and craft beers. It's the perfect place to go out with colleagues or for date night. Forge will always impress. Forge Pub and Eatery in Berwick is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs football team.
Berwick Notary Center, 1544 Orange Street, State Route 93, has been serving the Berwick community for over 50 years with the highest quality service as well as the lowest prices available. They offer services for driver's licenses, instant camera cards, registration renewals, boat, ATV, and snowmobile transfers. And they are messenger and agent approved. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, and Saturday, 9 till 1. Check out their Facebook page or email them directly at berwicknotary@yahoo.com. Berwick Notary proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickshinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick, HLM.
It wasn't pretty. It may be one of the ugliest kicks you've ever seen, but from Berwick's standpoint, it's one of the most beautiful kicks you'll ever see. Chris Banyas, a line drive, 22-yard field goal, has given Berwick the lead, 30-28. Again, the scoreboard clock not in operation. We estimate that there's under a minute to go. Ignatius has 2 timeouts remaining, and they will get the football. Berwick crowd on their feet. Ken Walker will kick off for the Bulldogs. The kick comes up short. Fielded by Larry Vanderhoort on the far sideline, and he gets to the 43-yard line. So St. Ignatius will have excellent field position with 2 timeouts remaining. At their own 43-yard line. They trail by just 2, 30-28.
And the same frustrations that George Perry had to have felt in that last drive, not knowing the time, not knowing how much out of control the clock, is now going to face St. Ignatius. We shouldn't see the run at all, even though they do have the timeouts to use.
Mike Kelly from shotgun. Berwick with extra defensive backs in there. Kelly back to throw. Has all the time he wants, but nothing there. He rolls left. Now he throws and throws it away to the sideline. Berwick wants the flag. There was absolutely no one on this sideline.
And it's thrown. Ace Brogna watching the direction of the pass. The referee throws that flag. There was no one on this half of the field where the pass went. Forced to roll to the left, just about in the grass. Throws the ball in desperation to avoid the sack. They'll mark the ball at the point where the sack would have occurred, and there'll be a loss of down with that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 20 for St. Ignatius back at their 34-yard line.
And does the clock resume? It's not an incomplete if it's grounded.
Slot to the right side. Kelly takes the snap. Back to throw. Fires to the sideline. Vollison has it and gets out of bounds. At the Berwick 48-yard line. They'll pick up 14 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Fourth catch of the game for Volazin, and he's very aware of stopping the clock. Deep square out pattern. Tried to get near the chains and then square it, take it out of bounds to save precious seconds.
Third down and 7, Ignatius. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Wildcats. Berwick with a 3-man line. Everybody backed into that secondary. Kelly calls an audible. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Long to the far sideline to Arth. Overthrown. Terrific coverage by Vaughn Welsh. Step for step with Tom Arth. It's going to be 4th and 7. This could be the ball game on this play.
Clock winding down, but they need to convert on 4th down to have any more chance. With the timeouts, it might be the time to let that quarterback scramble, run, and make sure he gets the chains. Critical play here. Berwick would like to stop it short of the chains. That clock also a very important factor, even if they do convert.
4th down and 7. St. Ignatius from their own 47. Berwick leading by 2 closing moments. Kelly from shotgun takes the snap. Back to throw. Fires, has his man. Ball pop free, incomplete. Incomplete. Arth couldn't hold it. Berwick will take over the football. Berwick will take over the football.
Arth had it right on target, but 3 tacklers combined. I think he sensed them coming and let it fall. Arth is upset with himself. He had the first down. St. Ignatius would have had more opportunities. They have a kicker who would have the wind in his advantage. They're only a play or 2 away from field goal range had he held on to that. But Berwick now will just take the knee and wrap this one up. A huge win for the Berwick football program.
2 timeouts remaining for Ignatius. Marshman will take a knee. Takes the snap down on 1 knee. Ignatius will step in and use one of those timeouts. They have 1 remaining. Ball back at the 49-yard line. Andy, let's go back to what appears to be the winning field goal in the ball game. We talked about the penalty. I didn't think it would be a big factor. The way that kick just got over there, those 5 yards were huge.
It really, really did matter. And again, George Curry, part of his scheme is to bark signals on PATs and on field goals and try to bring it closer. Ignatius aware of it. They scout Berwick well, but yet the intensity of trying to get in to block a field goal that can beat you on the bark of the snap, the people jump. It brings it closer. And then that knuckleball kick, just enough. You had to watch the fans in the end zone, and they erupted, which then sent a ripple through this entire stadium.
Marshman takes the snap, goes down on 1 knee again.
No more timeouts for Ignatius. They signaled it. Berwick is storming the field. They know this one's over.
Berwick has defeated Cleveland St. Ignatius. The final, Berwick 30, St. Ignatius 28. We'll be back with the scoring and statistics in 60 seconds.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
IndependenceFord.com is officially announcing the biggest pre-owned vehicle sale in Independence Ford's 35-year history. Huge discounts, great trade values, and the lowest interest rate in years. If you need a vehicle, now is the time. Need a deal on a new vehicle? How about 0% for 84 months on 2019 F-150s? And ask about their lifetime oil change program on all new car sales. Now is the time to shop IndependenceFord.com. Independence Ford, 3101 Columbia Boulevard. Better people, better prices.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard. Boulevard in Berwick.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing. Specializing in metal and rubber shingles, most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
November 15th, 1991, Crispin Field. Ron Powles leads the Dogs to a win over Valley View in the Eastern Conference Class 1 semifinals.
Ryan Mason and Bill Hetler, the backs in an open set. Orlando is wide to the right. Hollis on play action, back to throw, fires into the end zone for Orlando for a touchdown. Ron Hollis to Chris Orlando for the score.
Berwick Bulldog football.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the 1998 game, Cleveland St. Ignatius at Berwick. The best of Berwick football on Sports Radio, HLM.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WPWX Berwick, HLM.
The Berwick crowd does not want to leave Crispin Field. They want to savor this one. A year ago, Berwick stepped up and took on Cleveland St. Ignatius and their nationally known high school football program. The result was not pretty. 37-6 was the Ignatius win. Some writers from across the state were saying, well, this revealed that the Berwick program wasn't what people thought it was. It wasn't nearly as good. They couldn't compete against the powers. Their standings in the USA Today polls were fraud. Well, today, Berwick proved they belong. A dramatic 30-28 win over Cleveland St. Ignatius. The wrap-up in this one. St. Ignatius started quickly as they did a year ago. 3-play, 32-yard drive for a touchdown. 4-yard touchdown run by Joe Gonzalez. That was on their first possession. Mike Kessick kicked the extra point. 7-0 was the Ignatius lead early. But Berwick got a big play later in that first quarter on an option, a 51-yard run by Dana Keck. It ignited Berwick to an 8-play, 84-yard scoring drive, capped on an 8-yard touchdown pass. Jeff Marshman to Brandon George on 4th and goal. Chris Banyas kicked the extra point. Score was tied at 7 with 4:01 to go in the first quarter. St. Ignatius came right back. 3 plays, 65 yards. Biggest play, 52 yards. Mike Kelly to Tom Arth. Joe Gonzalez, a 5-yard touchdown run. Kessick with the extra point. St. Ignatius, 14-7, 3:02 to go in the first quarter. Then a big moment in the ball game. Berwick could not afford to go 2 scores behind against Ignatius, and Ignatius took over at the Berwick 28-yard line. But the Bulldog defense was up to the task. They took over the football at their own 26 and put together a 7-play, 74-yard scoring drive, capped on a 13-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Marshman to Chris Banyas. Juggling catch for Banyas for the score. Banyas kicked the extra point to tie the score at 14. Marshman had runs of 33 and 15 yards along the way. With 8:02 to go in the first half, and the score tied at 14. Quarterback Mike Kelly of Ignatius had his pass tipped. Vaughn Welsh intercepted, returned 30 yards for a Berwick touchdown. Banyas with the extra point. The Bulldogs with their first lead at 21-14. St. Ignatius, they did all afternoon, came right back. Starting at their own 39, they drove to the 3-yard line of Berwick where they had a 4th and goal, but J.D. Stanley sacked Mike Kelly, stopping the threat. Ignatius did get it back in the closing moments of the first half, and a pass intended for Arth went just beyond his reach. And Berwick went in at half with a 7-point lead. It took Ignatius all of 1 minute and 6 seconds to tie the score. in the third quarter. Third play from scrimmage, 65-yard pass. Mike Kelly to John Vollison went high in the air, beat a Berwick defender, went in for the score. Kessick kicked the extra point. The score was tied at 21. Berwick answered like a champion. Sixth play, 74-yard drive. Marshman going in, 28 yards for the touchdown on a run, running over Joe Gonzalez inside the 10-yard line for the score. However, Berwick had some problems with the snap. They did not get the extra point. For a while this afternoon, that looked fatal. Berwick's lead at that point was 27-21. But St. Ignatius came back and capped the scoring drive late in the third quarter on a 5-yard touchdown run by Mike Kelly. Kessick kicked the extra point, and St. Ignatius led 28-27. With St. Ignatius in Berwick territory, with that lead, things did not look good for the Bulldogs. They needed a big play. They got a huge one from John Spencer, who intercepted a pass and returned to the Berwick 45 with around 3 minutes left. That sent Berwick on a drive downfield, aided by a couple of penalties and a big pass from Jeff Marshman to Vaughn Welsham, 18 yards. Berwick ended up eventually with a 4th and 4 at the 5-yard line of St. Ignatius. Chris Banyas came on. Al West did the holding. Brandon George did the snapping. The kick was very, very low, just got through the uprights, and Berwick had the lead at 30-28. Ignatius still had timeouts, still had some time, but when Tom Arth let a pass go through his hands, where the first down coming in Berwick territory, the Bulldogs took over, and they celebrate a 30-28 win. Statistics in today's game, Andy Ulickney.
Now, some statistics we didn't mention over the course of the game, Jim. St. Ignatius, 1,350 young men in the school, probably 4 times the male enrollment of Berwick. Students from 150 different school districts, 40 cities and 6 counties. Berwick has no right to be on the football field with a program of this caliber that can draw so many outstanding athletes and intellects, and it is so well coached. Last year, it seemed like all that came true, and here they pull out a victory to really show what Berwick football can do. On the score sheet, the story is a close football game. In total offense, St. Ignatius had 350 yards. Berwick had 286, but total yards is not the score. Turnovers hurt. 1 interception returned for a touchdown. A second interception that sets up the final game-winning points. And Berwick comes up with those key interceptions, and that helps them seal the huge victory, one of the biggest in the program. For St. Ignatius, 27 carries for 105 yards, 12 of 27 passing with the 2 interceptions, 245 yards in the air for their total of 350. Joe Gonzalez, the speedster at tailback, started out strong. First 4 carries at 2 touchdowns and 44 yards. He finishes with 15 carries in all for 68 yards as Berwick makes some great game-time adjustments to slow him down. Dan Murphy, the fullback, tried a trick play, lost 7 yards on that. Liam Stoll, a freshback, had a 3-yard carry. And Mike Kelly, the quarterback, turned runner, especially in the second half. He ends up with 10 carries for 41 yards in all, 105 yards on the ground for Cleveland. I think one of the keys for Berwick was a game-time adjustment that ended up stymieing the running game, a running game that hurt them very early, especially in the first period. Ends up being not nearly as threatening in the rest of the game. Passing 12 of 27, well below 50% for quarterback Mike Kelly. 2 interceptions thrown, 1 that was returned for a touchdown, and 245 yards in all. John Volosyn had 4 catches for 98 yards. He had a beautiful 65-yard touchdown reception. He and Banyas going up for the ball in different directions. Banyas can't get the tip, and his momentum takes him away from Volosyn, who then speeds in for that 65-yard touchdown. Tom Arth, who had the quarterback last week, the tall receiver, has 3 catches for 85 yards. One of those, a huge 52-yarder early in the game. Gonzalez out of the backfield. Berwick was worried about the flare passes that hurt him last year. Limited to 2 catches for 12 yards. And a big tight end, 6'5", Mike Harris. I have him with 3 catches for 50 yards. And considering his skills and the way that the tight end can maneuver in this offense, 50 yards is somewhat limiting to a tight end. 245 in the air, 105 on the ground shows the offensive prowess. Total of 350 yards total for St. Ignatius. But the 2 interceptions were critical. Also a couple timely penalties. One just being a innocuous 5-yarder, but it moves the field goal from the 10-yard line to the 5-yard line for an attempt, and that's just enough to get it over. For the victorious Berwick Bulldogs, they had 54 plays on the night, equaling the 54 plays that Ignatius had. 38 on the ground, 16 in the airways. So while Ignatius was perfectly balanced with 27 plays on each side for their 54, Berwick more heavily skewed with the running game. And the surprise in the running game, the quarterback has most of the carries. 22 of the 38 rushes are by quarterback Jeff Marshman. And he took a physical beating over the course of the game. Finishes with 88 positive yards, but he was over 100 at one point. He is sacked twice in the first half and 5 more times in the second half. At times even looked groggy as the fourth quarter was moving along. But he's the gamer. He stayed with it, and he finished with intensity. Paul Irvin, starting tailback, 11 carries for 27 yards, kept people in the middle honest. Great linebacker, and Larry Vander Oord had to play him between the tackles, and that way Vander Oord could not get outside for other plays. Dana Keck, 5 carries, 74 yards. His first 2 were stunners, as Marshman, running with the ball, draws attention and then pitches on the option to Keck. Keck on his first 2 carries has 78 yards. After that, they key in on him and hold him to 74 for the entire game. So a somewhat unconventional but very successful rushing game for Berwick. 38 carries for 189 yards. In the air, Jeff Marshman threw it 50%, 8 of 16. No interceptions, no fumbles during the game either. 97 yards in the passing game. Chris Banyas, 4 catches for 43 yards, a 13-yard touchdown reception that was just a thing of beauty, a very, very difficult catch as he had to reach behind the defender to make it. Also a key first down reception in a final drive. Dustin Wells, 2 catches for 36 yards. And Brandon George at tight end, 2 catches for 18 yards. Only 3 receivers on the 8 different catches, but 97 yards in the air. Just enough to keep some attention off the running game, which goes for 189 yards. 286 on the game. Under the total of Ignatius is 350. But factor in turnovers, factor in some home field advantage. These fans gave a lot of energy to some very tired people at the end of the game, Jim. And it all goes to Berwick in the end in a stunning victory here.
And as good a high school football game as you'd ever want to see. Cleveland St. Ignatius coming in with all sorts of weapons and going away with a 30-28 defeat. Remember, this is a program that has produced 128 wins in their last 137 games coming into this one. They'll try to bounce back at home against Bethlehem Catholic next Saturday. As they go to 1-1 on the season, Berwick advances to 2-0. They'll try to come down to earth as they travel to Pittston area next Friday night for the Wyoming Valley Conference opener for the Bulldogs. That final score once again, Berwick 30, Cleveland St. Ignatius 28.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Forge Pub and Eatery, West 11th Street in Berwick. Bear Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Berwick. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Berwick Notary Center, Orange Street in Berwick. Mason's Monogram Services for all your Bulldog merchandise. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickasha. Your Berwick State Farm agents Lori Powell, Sean Black, and Melissa Price. Hometown agents who understand Berwick's needs. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Alexander Family Dealership, Central Road off Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Access Gymnastics Academy, East 7th Street in Bloomsburg. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop, 1306 Orange Street Berwick. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, veteran and military family owned and operated. Tri-County Lumber, South Poplar Street in Berwick. Welch's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. Jeffrey McKinnon, financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. J. Lilo Jewelers, 140 East Main Street in Bloomsburg. And by Brookdale Senior Living, 420 Schaefer Road in Bloomsburg. HLM is the Valley Sports Leader.